OMG 1069. Boom.
It's a vibe.
On OMG in the morning with the real Batman Big and DJ Shady.
Every time she come my way, talk at the tongue when you dip down there. Sweetness, yeah, apple I won't try to. It's a carnival every time she touch down there. Tip at the tongue when you hit my brain. Look and I just want to. Take your time when you go down there. You go spend all your coin and end up in I take.
Tripping down my body, wetting it up, and I just can't get enough of you. Lights slow, me bubbling, moving my waist if you walk, I'm troubling. And when times get troubling, I need a man who on top of things, stick to the program for you. You don't see anything, everything I do.
OMG in the morning.
So let me show that we grown up, I'm a big girl now. So let we take a drink of the rum. We grown up, give me that walk. Till the sun comes up, we grown up, I'm a big girl now. So let we take a drink on the rock. We grown up, nobody can say stop. Oh, young and we party hard. You see that why? I love it too bad. Young and we party hard.
Check it out. You don't eat, good. You want to set it out for me, good. But you say you don't cheat, good. It's not an exam, baby, good. You say you're bad, give me a bounce, bounce. And don't freeze, bounce. Y'all got frozen cheese. When you go a dance on the beat, y'all make me sing like this. I never know you smoke weed like this. Love it when you come my way. You smell nice and you shit. Y'all make me sing like this. We should link up like bricks and me. You think me now watch from me shirts, but you got no idea. Take off your thing now, senorita, bounce for the thing now. Senorita, you see na in ya. Senorita, when you meet me, go on like Africa. Take off your thing now, senorita, wine for the thing now. Senorita, you see na in ya. Senorita, when you meet me, go on like Africa.
Boom 1069.
Yeah, Shady, yeah, hold on. You caught me off guard, buddy. Hold on. Drop it, and come right back. Drop it and come back. That same one. Alright, that same one. Continue to play it and come back. Let me line up. Gotta tell you about a few things. So do that and let's come right back. Alright? Keep going, buddy. Sorry, that was my fault. Buddy. You ready? Let's go.
Give me the island breeze, cool them vibes, coconut jelly, peas and rice, house and land, and we sharp like a knife. Green in abundance, real love around me, yeah. You want to know where we coming from? Say you want come look for me, yeah. If you're willing to have some fun, I could keep you company. Move that way, come girl, plunder right by me. Squeeze her tight, make it drip down there. Neighbor, oh, yes, you kindly. Miss Jolene, oh, your mango sweet, so Jolene, oh, your mango sweet. Tell me how it ripe and sweet, so Jolene, oh, your mango sweet. Spin wild, yeah. Oh, yeah. Since we build a vibe, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, yo, so let me build it. Y'all grind fine like chili, baby. Real things start, I no time for no gimmicks. Good vibes only, keep that around me. Let me build it. And waste one time skillfully. Y'all know you look so fine naturally. Real vibes only, keep that around me. Watch how the vibes them sweet, cool and nice. Whole thing set up, peace on my mind. Roll that thing and we take flight. Trees in abundance, see it all around me, yeah. So let me jam with the heart and love. All I be is family, yeah. It's all long on me gun, girl. You know that this is the season, baby. See that it? Nothing sweeter, girl, know it. Go throw stone, girl, I go pick. Never, oh, ask you kindly, Miss Jolene. Jolene, you know your mango sweet. Tell me how it ripe and sweet, so Jolene, you know your mango sweet. It's been a while, yeah. Oh, yeah. When you're giving up, yeah. So let me build it. Girl grind fine like chili, baby. Real things start.
Ready for you now, Shady.
Good vibes only, keep that around me.
OMG in the morning.
Hey, listen, you know, Max Pizza was closed last month for the month of September. Guess what? They are now reopened so you can make your orders to the Max Pizza and Kitchen Beckway. They do the Vinci Pizza delivery every Friday, so you can start placing your orders right now from today. Okay, what if I say for right now? I mean, from Monday morning, from this morning, from 8 o'clock, from today. All right, place those orders, or you can do it up to 10 p.m. on Thursday. How do you do that? You can call or WhatsApp at 528-1854 between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. or the restaurant on their fixed line at 458-3474 between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. All orders will be delivered by a Max representative the following Friday at the wharf from 5:30 p.m. upon the arrival of the Beckway Express. Yeah, so if you never experienced Max Pizza in your life, you're missing a big part of your life. Clap those eyes for me, Shady. Alright, you're missing a big part of your life if you've never experienced it. SVG Tires, my boy. Hey, Charlotte, good morning to you, buddy. On your way down this morning, I know sometimes you probably wonder, how does Bing do that? I'm in my vehicle, I'm on my way down. Yo, buddy, I have your back covered, buddy. Hey, listen, check out SVG Tires, all right? They have a special going down on tires. Buy at regular prices, get the fourth one for free. Or you can check their stores in Kingston today from 8 o'clock. That's when they open. Call them for more details of the tire sizes you need and all that. Call them at 457-1467. Or there's an Arnottsville outlet. Well, let me tell you, we're in Arnottsville, okay, so you don't get confused, okay? You know where the St. James Medical School is? After you pass Massey, the gap that goes up into Queens Drive, right there on, if you're heading up into Queens Drive, in the St. James Medical School area there, right there, on your right-hand side, going up, you can call them at 456-6444. That's my boy, Shallow at SVG Tires. Listen, the nicest guy you'll ever know. Shallow, always smiling. Always got a laugh on. Yeah, make sure you go and get your tires. All your tires all your tires you need, no matter what size. Make sure you check them out first. Check him out first. Remember the big special going down at SVG Tires. Yeah. If you're looking for the ultimate destination for relaxation and exceptional flavors, look no further, folks. They've got you covered at the Hotel Alexandrina Culture Bar and Grill in Prospect. Join them Monday to Saturday from 3:30 p.m. for a dining experience like no other. Discover their mouth-watering menu, vibrant ambience, and intention hospitality. You can call them at 456-9788 or visit Culture Bar and Grill in Kingston. I know the question you're going to ask me, Shady, so go ahead and ask me. Go ahead. I know the question. Go ahead, Shady, ask me. Say it.
Which question?
I just read the Culture Bar and Grill thing. You know,
how was Friday?
Yeah, no, that's, I know, I knew that was, well, you know, who's that outside there? Who's that? That's Kyle?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was all ready to go. Friday. And guess what? As usual, one of the red men and them had to call and say they can't make it. Let's postpone. I already in my vehicle on my way out of town. And one of the red boys and them, as per usual, had
Didn't get permission?
They get permission. They get permission. They get it. Well, I am not saying it is Grant, okay? I'm not saying it is Grant Connell, the one who did not get permission to come out at 3 o'clock. Right? I was all ready. Had things planned, put off. Had to cancel, postpone things to go to do late lunch at Hotel Alexandrina Culture Bar with these 2 red fellas. Medium red and small red. And last minute they canceled it. But hey, guess what? We'll probably do it this coming Friday. Yeah? So check that out. Listen, Flow, I've got something say they've got free internet for 1 month. If you don't have Flow internet at home, sign up now. Alright? Now meaning today. Pay no bill, no installation for 1 whole month when you sign up for a Flow high-speed internet package. Yeah, go check them out on that one. Well, we're gonna have to make some adjustments in that one. Yeah, and we come back with the others. Now, the Cutlass will be in hopefully sometime soon. Good morning to those of you on the live this morning. Good morning, come in. Should I say my good mornings? If I do it too early, then some people get left out and then they get vexed. If I, so Dove, good morning. Dove said intention, people have gone from wicked to cold-blooded. Dove, I am, it's, you touched that because I was going to go there this morning, Dove. Yeah? We heard on Friday night of the, mute your mic there, Shady, for me, please, because I'm getting a sound. On Friday night, as a matter of fact, on Friday night of the murder of someone that I knew as a little boy growing up called Uncle Mac. That's what we refer to him as growing up. Uncle Mac. He is or was the husband of Doris McIntosh, who happens to be very, very, very good friend with my Auntie Barbara. Doris McIntosh, for those of you who don't know, and I asked someone on the weekend just yesterday if they knew or they didn't know, if they were aware that Doris McIntosh was the then executive secretary of former Prime Minister Sir James Mitchell. Doris McIntosh of SVG Netball Association, president, past president, organizer, administrator. That Doris McIntosh. Uncle Mac, that guy that every time you go to the service station, the gas station in Arnesville Villa, you would see him quietly just walking around, saying hello on the inside. He's always courteous, always nice to everyone. If he see that you're having a problem, Uncle Mac is the guy that will always come over to you and fix that problem at the gas station. But outside of the gas station, Uncle Mac was that type of person that was called by everybody Uncle Mac. Not biologically uncle, but Uncle Mac because he was like an uncle to everyone. And he was murdered. I'm going to use no other word, no fancy word and all that. He was murdered, 4 shots, while on his way home from work. And I know my friend Spencer don't want to hear me say it, that we are now 41 murders in a country with 100,000 people. 41 more murders per capita than Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica, who most people consider the murder capitals of the Caribbean, well, outside of Haiti. Per capita. We have broken a record in St. Vincent and the Grenadines where murders are concerned. Murders! I ain't calling it no other word. Murders. And normally, we would say that these murders are done among gangs or among people who dealing with drugs. I nicen it up. That is what we say. That is what people would always say. Uncle Mac ain't in no drugs, he ain't in no gang. He's not a member of any gang. Uncle Mac, if you know Uncle Mac, was just walking home from work. Something that he does every single night. That's what he did, Uncle Mac. He wasn't a member of any gang. Now, what is the excuse and the explanation going to be? We used to blame the past commissioner of police, Colin John, who incidentally will be our special guest tomorrow morning, live in studio. He's not going to be calling in. He will be in studio tomorrow morning. Let me take it and done. Or is it wouldn't stop? Good morning.
Morning, Ding.
Hey, morning.
When I was home Easter last year, I went by the same gas station, Ding. And I wanted a fruit cocktail. And no fruit cocktail was in the fridge. And I make a joke and tell the woman, I'll tell the gas station buy fruit cocktail, please, because I tell the drinking one. And the same man, I didn't know Mr. McBain went behind in the back there. And I think he moved off 4 bucks. And bring out 2 hot food cocktails in me. And in charge, I tell him I'm staying up the street. I was saying, I guess I was up the street. And he allowed me to buy 3 food. He allowed me to buy 3 food cocktails and tell me bring back the bottle. He ain't go charge me to the bottle. The man don't know me from nowhere. And the man went out here with an old man. I was like, yo, you know, put all on. He said, man, you want a cocktail? Me go organize for you. You know, my man from nowhere. Now let me take a rewind then to 2010. When St. Vincent was trying to climb hill and murderers, I used to beat them on my social media page and say we have a crime problem in St. Vincent. And people come on my page and say crime in New York. I say, but I live in New York. People come and screenshot New York Times murder all over the place just to justify the road in a go down at St. Vincent and the Grenadines. When I say St. Vincent is have higher crime rate than I give me number, I say, oh, they're missing per capita. And then to be honest, back in the day, we used to get so upset when we hear murder. And me are upset like that again because it's almost like I'm conditioned to expect murders in Indians and economies. I'm upset with Mr. Mac murder. It's brutal murder. But I'm not as upset as I'm supposed to be because we are conditioned and I warned about this. We are conditioned and they blame all body. They go all at Jupiter and say alien and kill alien, Pan Mars, Venus and Jupiter. Therefore, Indians is okay. That's a senior citizen thing. Walking home and somebody go brutally slaughter a man with a four. Which road we are going on? And then when we try to bring it up, they feel a pull down tendency and we're going to bring family, they mean I'm going to accept it directly. But one brings sense and brutally murder, it's too much.
Yep.
And I just hope,
I said yes, definitely. One is too much.
Okay. One is too much, and I hope that we reach an intervention point that we be like, yo, enough is enough. Because Mr. Mac was basically a nucleus of the community. You know the man, but the man was such a positive person that somebody will have bad men in their heart to go and kill a man every city man. Wallet full of hundreds of dollars, but it's some allegations going around saying why they must kill him, man. But I'm not going to mention the on the radio because they don't want to send me lawyer letter.
Yes.
But already had Johnny Captain and my black package, so I could come in a lawyer letter. But we have to really take stock of what's really going on in Finland and Grenadines, and then a lot of and this is bigger than government, this is bigger than police. Society has become a bad mind society, which I now call ungovernable. I remember I word this. You go by yourself, happy on the people, and I want to touch something else, but I don't want to take it from this topic.
Yeah, you can call back. You can call back and do that. Yeah, okay, buddy. Thank you.
All right, then.
Uncle Mac was murdered. Call, good morning.
Morning, Brother Bing. How are you?
Morning.
Brother Bing, I'm very sad, but I'm going to speak the truth. I ain't going to be long. Let me just say and I come off, and then they could criticize me after. So I called the police when I had my problem. So I saw wrong, and I went to the manager, spoke about what was happening, raw atrocities, crime. And I started to say that couldn't happen because I worked with two other administration and never did we see someone stealing. And so, to cut a long story short, everybody saying go to the comrade. So when it was overbearing with verbal threats, Mike Brown intervened and called Mr. Gonsalve at evening and said, Comrade Hamilton coming to you. He wants to speak to you about the stealing at Jesco. He said, oh, you go see him Monday. He said, no, I wanted to see him now. I went a chance and I spoke to my comrade. I want to say to you, I was very convinced from Mr. Gonsalve, I called him Prime Minister at the time, that he would have done something for me. He said, Hammy, so because you're seeing corruption, they want to force you out, I will stand with you. When I went back, the lock on my door, the next day I was the credit control, the lock on my door was changed. And then, other things happened down the road. I started to get a letter moving me from the credit control officer. But I'm saying this to say that after that situation, it's death threats galore. And so I remember the very fourth death threat. And that very fourth death threat, it was scary. But I wasn't worried that they were going to kill me. I was worried for my children. I spoke to the senior, to the officer at Calicut, those next to Calicut. They said I have to write a letter. I wrote a letter, sent it to the police. Bing, just to track down that number. 2 months after, they told me, sorry, we lost your number. We lost that, we lost the report. I'm saying this to say my life up to today is put in danger. They had, it had even reached a stage where Vincent Beach took information, we took it to the bar. You know what happened with all them thieving? Those people who literally been stealing were promoted to Jesco. I'm saying this to say, how come we are talking about Mr. Mac and not understanding the amount of people's lives that are in danger? I mean, look at what happened. We had a robbery here. I called them. I gave them information. I'm saying this publicly about who the guy could have been because a neighbor came to me and gave me some information. They promised us to do surveillance. I walked at the gas station down there and I know what would happen to every senior person who lived there. The police never, for years now, under the watch of never seemed to be interested in protecting people. It didn't make no sense we talk about whether Mr. Max used to smile. He is dead.
and the other people's life in danger, and you're going to bring on what a police? These police and Mr. Gonsalves, they've made a mockery of our safety. Well, when I put down say Hammy as a devil, well, Gonsalves must go today. I blame him for Mr. Max death, and all the other people who are in danger.
All right, calm down.
God, I love you very much.
Love you, Mr. Hampton. Calm down. And I could understand this morning your passion. I could understand your feeling of hurt this morning. Because it's getting closer and closer to home. You no longer have to be on a block playing cards up in Harbor Club. You no longer have to be in the ghetto. You no longer have to be in some dark street to be murdered. Now it seems as though you walking home, your house is less than 5 minutes walk from your workplace. With street lights. And you're not safe. You no longer can feel safe. And so we remember and we go back to the days of the James Mitchell administration. We were told who was responsible. Caller, good morning, you're live.
Good morning, Bing.
Good morning.
I'm just listening to your program. Bing, first, let me say good condolences to the family of Mr. Mack, yeah? And I've known Mr. Mack for a number of years and always been outstanding gentleman. And I'm listening to the program and hearing you speaking about Mr. Mack. It just run me down now to hear what Mr. Hamilton is saying. And I can't take them kind of thing in my head this morning. You are speaking about a man who has been working and getting murdered. And you mustn't talk about that. Come on, Mr. Hamilton. I thought better of you with that. You have all your time. He has all his time to speak about what he wants to speak about, his problems. This is a man who got murdered, and you are highlighting and you're speaking about the man, and so forth. And it is going to hurt the family to hear someone calling out to say what Mr. Hamilton is saying there. And it touched me to hear him saying something like that. And it's time enough you stop this kind of thing, man. You're talking about somebody who's been murdered and outlining what is happening and so forth and what is going on in the country. And you trying to condemn that? Man, I don't like this kind of thing, man. Have a good dipping and continue to do what you do, man.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, we'll be joined by the Cutlers just now. So we were told under the NDP administration back then who was responsible for the crimes, the drugs that's coming in, the cocaine, the high murder rate then, which was nowhere near what we see now. We were told that Prime Minister James Mitchell and Commissioner Toussaint should take responsibility for what was happening in the country, which was nowhere near what is happening now. Who should take that responsibility now? Who's gonna put up their hands in the air now and say, I am responsible? It is my job to keep you safe and secure in the country. Who's gonna put up their hands now and say that? That it is my job to keep Vincentians safe. And I am responsible for you not feeling safe and for you not being safe. But we can't blame Colin John anymore now, you know. We used to walk and talk and chew Colin John name like chewing gum. We can't say Colin ain't doing any work now, you know. Because something seems to be happening in that ministry. The ministry that is supposed to keep us safe. Hang on. Shady hook on the outside. Something seems to be happening in that ministry. Because not only calling, but we are hearing, and we know now as well too, that the permanent secretary in the Ministry of National Security has resigned. So it's not just Colin that was left. So who is responsible? Who is going to put up their hands and say, I am responsible? Just like when we were told that it was Sir James and two saints. Who's going to do that?
Good morning, Shady. How are you? Bing, I'm not sure exactly what you're ranting at, but I want to first of all suspect it's the same thing. I want to publicly express my condolences to Doris McIntosh. I already sent her a WhatsApp personally. I want to publicly,
Same thing.
you know, he seemed like a very gentle, decent fella. Don't know anybody would want to kill a person like that, but it's scary. We now have 41 dead in our country. We have now, I believe, promoted the gentleman who is responsible for crime, is what I am told, and fighting crime in our country. We have now promoted him to the role of Commissioner of Police. I presume as a reward for having done an excellent job in his previous role as fighting crime in the country. I presume. I know people get upset with me about that, but is that what happened, or isn't that what happened, Bing? Am I wrong?
That's a fact.
Those are facts, right? Okay. So hopefully he can do a much better job in his new role than he did as his past role, because he does not seem to me to have been very effective as the main person responsible for fighting crime in our country. So again, my condolences, Doris. I mean, I never know what to say to people when people get killed and die. I mean, it's okay when you die at a certain age. I mean, if he died of a heart attack, we could live with that.
Yes.
The man gets shot, and apparently he gets shot in his back, is what we're told.
Walking home from
work. It's kind of a scary proposition, buddy. It makes you. I said a few years ago, you know, that the time will come when those of us who can afford it will have armed guards posted at the entrance to our properties, because you're now at a stage where you don't want to go out after dark anymore. And I will take the chance of being charged with. What is it called? What do they call? Inspiring fear and what's the word?
An alarm.
Fear and alarm in the country. But I think we all have a reason, very valid reasons now, to be fearful of what is happening in our country.
We've got security companies advertising on this station that provides personal security.
Yeah, but I don't know if they provide personal security with armed guards.
They do that too.
Yes,
okay, they do that.
Because I mean, many of us have to start looking at that. You know, you and I had a private conversation to say we have to stop referring to people about where we live, who have what and who doesn't, because even though we may be joking, people out there may take it seriously, and we're putting our lives at risk, apparently, in this country now, when we can't even joke anymore about certain, you know, when we would... It's sad to see where we are. We're at 41 now. After the first month of the year, I think there were 4 people who had been murdered. We were on a pace for 48. I believe we're now on a pace to go above 50 murders in a country this size. And we talk about Jamaica and we talk about Trinidad. And we're always busy, of course, criticizing the United States of America, despite the fact that our murder rate is, I believe, significantly higher than that in the United States of America. Our murder rate is either the same or higher than Trinidad and Tobago. I haven't compared them to Jamaica. Just very sad overall. A sad, miserable day. But life goes on, as they say. Doris, again, and your family, my sympathies and condolences down there. All right?
But Stephen, what is this saying? Because we were told, all of this, we were told that was among gangs.
Yeah.
Gang members.
Doesn't seem. I don't think the 70-year-old gentleman was a member of a gang. I wouldn't have thought. Would you?
Of course not.
Right. So what does it say? Well, we knew it was inevitable that innocent people would start getting killed. Right? I presume that whoever attacked him, we have to presume, we're guessing, that they thought somehow he was walking home with a ton load of cash at night.
But he was left with
money in his pocket.
Money in his wallet.
And apparently he was shot from behind. So I don't quite understand the rationale. But I am not a crime fighter. I'm not a policeman.
But it is now leaving us to speculate that people going around shooting people now.
Well, Bing, let me be very clear. For my own little self-protection, I don't walk with cash anymore. I don't. I walk with my credit cards and my debit cards. That's how I pay all my bills now. I don't walk with cash, and I'm encouraging everybody out there to stay away from cash, please.
But according to the information
Yes.
from Uncle Max,
Yes.
murder,
Yes.
he had cash on him and the cash wasn't taken.
Was not taken. Yeah. I don't know, Bing. We're all we'd be doing is
So,
speculating.
but it have to leave us to speculate.
Well, what we have to ask the question, I know you have Colin coming in tomorrow, and unfortunately I can't be here because I have a meeting that I have to go to, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I know you and Colin will be fine together, I know that. But the question really is to ask of Colin, when you came in, when all these murders or the continued increase in violent crime that we are seeing in the country was occurring, what did you attempt to do? What programs did you think you
Policy
should do?
position.
And were you prevented from doing these things? Or did you feel that there were blockages? Or did you feel there was no cooperation from those below you in terms of being able to get your job done? At some point, we have to start speaking to people about why is the job not being done? Why are we seeing continued increases in crime year after year, and all we're hearing is basically nothing? What has changed? What policies have you implemented? What additional training have you done to your police? What have you done differently to try and root out the cause of these murders? Right? What is happening here? And I know people say, oh, look, St. Lucia, look this, look that, but I don't really care about that. I live in St. Vincent. And you wonder why it is. What's going on here? But as I keep telling you, Bing, and I don't want to say this in the police force, but we saw when Grant Connell was quoted extensively because he was very irate and upset about what he saw as favoritism in promotions, and promotions being based upon loyalty or political perception as opposed to competency. Is that true or not? I don't know. But anyway.
Let's take a call. Good morning, caller. Your life.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good to hear
Good
two
morning.
big cops talking about what's going on in the country. Two unofficial cops, those with intelligence and so on. What's going on in the country? But I want to say this. The new guy taking over from Colin John, what about him? He's coming, right away, he's under pressure. And are we going to see the real cop now and not another Colin John? Will we have the Prime Minister breathing down on him as the other cop in the whole scheme of things? That's my concern. Have a good morning.
Thank you, Dave. But if the Prime Minister was breathing down on him, I think he had every right to be, because there are murders going on in the country. You are responsible, right? The question is, what level of influence did the Prime Minister have or not have? And in my view, the Prime Minister has every right to hold people accountable for doing their jobs.
Of course, because the Prime Minister is
He
the
is
buck
minister.
stop with him.
Correct.
The buck
So he
stop
has
with him.
every reason. If he thinks things are not being done properly, then he has every right to cuss and criticize and get upset, in my view, right? And replace if necessary, okay? But we also have to be honest here and look at the list of promotions we keep seeing continuously and ask ourselves what is happening here, right? If you keep putting people in certain positions, Bing, and those people fail to perform, ultimately, who does that reflect on? Ultimately, it has to reflect on you and your judgment of the kind of people you are putting in charge, correct? Is that not reasonable? So let's hope that the new person can do a much better job in trying to get crime under control. And let's hope that we hear very publicly, we are going to be doing certain things. We're going to have more policemen stationed in communities. We're going to make sure that policemen have access to transportation when a crime is reported and can deal with it. We're going to start being able to fingerprint and take fingerprint evidence properly. Let's hear a proper plan for what we are going to do. I'm not a policeman. I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form in security measures, right? But I think we're sensible enough to know if we hear something, yeah, that makes sense. We need to do better than we have been doing, right? But we are a lawless country, Bing. Totally lawless. Remember a few years ago we heard about they were going to stop all this noise on vans, Bing?
Yep.
Bing, yesterday I'm driving along on a nice Sunday evening drive, and I hear this whoop behind me. Boom, boom, boom. Like Shady in full flight, right? The people in that van have to be deaf, or they will be deaf as they get older. And that's not once, we're hearing it continuously. And once again, there's no enforcement of laws. If you don't enforce the small laws, how are you going to enforce the bigger laws and the biggest laws? I took a drive out to Argyle yesterday, Bing, to see after 2 weeks of me saying something about the bridge, if they've done anything. Of course, nothing has been done, again, about the bridge rusting out, and eventually, right? But I also wanted to raise
someone before we leave this. Right, so
Mm-hmm.
Winston is saying when Colin first became the commissioner of police, he was interviewed on this same program.
Mm-hmm.
He stated then that there were a few bad apples on the force, and they would be weeded out.
Yeah.
Did that weeding ever take place?
Well, you can ask him tomorrow. But we will recall, however, that I believe certain people, and Jomo said this on his when he was on. Is he coming on today?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
He did say at that point, and he reminded us that we had 3 policemen who were convicted of almost killing a young man. Convicted, criminal offense, convicted. And they were reinstated onto the police force. Our message is sending to our people, Big. Can we not be honest and straightforward for once without people thinking it's politics? It's about the reality of what's happening in our country. We're simply not doing well enough. And it starts with the little things. I want to go on to something else fairly quickly, just in case, and then we can come back to this, because this is an important matter. Whereas what I'm about to say may be regarded as trivial, certainly in the context of people losing their lives. I decided to go. Every weekend I try to go to a restaurant and get something to eat and relax and enjoy myself, right? So I went to a particular restaurant, and I could name it, but I'm not going to. All right? Because the owner, I quite like the owner, and I'm hoping he's listening or somebody will tell him. All the restaurant owners or somebody out there will say, what the hell is happening here again? We're about to open Sandals, and everybody's all excited. I would like some of our callers to call in if they get a chance and tell me where I can go and get decent food, right? And decent service, irrespective of the price. As expensive as hell, I don't care. I just want to know where I can go. So I go to this place, Bing, sit down with my girlfriend to have dinner. The lady comes over. I order the same drink every time. I go there at least once a month. So I was just there 2 nights ago, actually, to meet him. I go regularly to this particular restaurant. So I go there, and we order our food. We ordered 4 appetizers. That was it. We said, we'll just have these, bring them all together, please. Thank you. 20 minutes go by, Bing, I'm sitting at my table. There's 2 people in the restaurant when we arrive, 2. So they're not exactly busy. 2 people. I'm in the restaurant, Bing, and they take our order. We're having our conversation, all is good, and I said, but it's 20 minutes later, we haven't seen anybody or anything. What do you think's happening? I look around, can't see a waitress in the place anyway, because the bar is out front, and and apparently the bartender can't move from there to check on anybody. There's 3 waitresses, 2 or 3 waitresses or managers or supervisors in the house at that time. We order the things, Bing. 20 minutes go by, nothing. 30 minutes go by, nothing. 40 minutes go by, nothing. So I finally had enough. I get up. And I go to the lady, and it's a lady I know and I quite like. She's a very pleasant lady. And I said to her, what's happening here? It's been 40 minutes. Oh, well, it'll be ready in 2 minutes. So I just go and sit back down again. 5 minutes later, nothing. So I get up again and I go again. I said, what is happening here? Well, I said, you know what? I've had enough, huh? Let me pay for my wine and my 2 soda waters, please. And I will leave this place and I'm never coming back here. This is ridiculous now. She says, oh, well, the order was put in to the kitchen, and the guy in the kitchen dropped the order somehow and forgot about it. So I said, okay, but what about the waitress
who
took the order? Yes. Bing, I went so hard as to lie down on the table at one point, like this, with my head down like this, hoping that somebody will see. Will somebody come over and say, is everything okay, Mr. Joachim? Desperately hoping to get some attention from the management, supervisors, waitresses, anybody in that establishment, Bing. Right? Desperately. Not in 40 minutes, no waitress came to my table, no manager, no supervisor, no bartender, nothing. I said I left, I done, I'm never coming back again. This is like the 2nd or 3rd restaurant I've now said, I can't go back there ever again.
See,
I am not prepared to spend money to be frustrated. How are you going to open a Sandals when you can't provide decent service at any establishment I am aware of in this country?
We've got a general problem when it comes
it's
to
our
customer
people.
service.
It's our people, which goes back to our education system, which goes back to our training. Big. What are we doing here? I spoke to a gentleman the other day who said that when he went into the primary schools, he could recognize the exact same things he was taught 50 years ago in primary school. Education revolution, Big? Is this what we're revolutionizing into? What are we doing here? Don't we need to do better? Carl, I hope you can recommend a restaurant to me.
Good morning, Auntie Barbara. How are you? Good morning to you. I know you're not doing too well. Go ahead, Carla.
Stephen, I had the experience the 3 times April of last year.
Jesus Christ.
This year. I went home for Easter. Now I want to big up the Beckway. Is a different story.
Yeah, correct.
To be honest.
Yes.
Absolutely different story. I can't remember. It's a restaurant down Princess Margaret Days, when he bottom of the hill. I can't remember. That staff is immaculate.
Yes.
And that staff needs to be. I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it's on the bottom of the hill. I stayed on the top of the hill.
Yeah. Well, the Grenadines are a different. The Grenadines are a different country and a different world than St. Vincent.
So, instead of Sandals, send people all about St. Vincent and Maine and people down Grenadines.
The Grenadines are all about customers.
But it's not just in the restaurant and hotel industry.
Yeah.
And
I'll talk government service.
I'll give you
Going to a bank.
an example of something that happened to me on Friday.
I went to a restaurant on the Villa Stretch.
Thank you. That's where I was, by the way, also. Same on Villa Stretch, huh?
Very expensive restaurant. And I asked the waiter, I say, waiter, I am hungry.
Yep.
Tell me how big is the portion. They say, this is the catch of the day. And I can't remember the fish, but I like to eat local when I come to St. I don't want eating I could get in America.
Okay.
This is the catch of the day. I say, I'm very hungry. I don't care about the price.
Yeah.
As long as it could fill me up.
Yeah.
She said, it's a good size piece. Matter of fact, if I eat it, I go carry it. If you see a piece of fish, the girl give me and 1 teaspoon of mashed potato. And I get up like him and down Vermont and put my hand on me and I say, well, the F me a see this your food. and the girl give me is like she's doing me a favor. I'm like, sorry, I can't even give you a tip.
Yeah. It's like they're doing you a favor.
Doing me a favor, and this is 3 consecutive. One time I went to a bar and sit down and order a drink. I saw the Desperado. I wanted a Desperado on the rock. I ordered the Desperado on the rock, and if 5 people at the bar was plenty. I ordered Desperado on the rocks. And by the time the girl come back, my spirit don't kill her. So when she come, I say, girl, I don't even want it. That time you drink it, I gone. Just for the principle about it.
Max,
So
this is not the only restaurant this has happened to me with, and it's on the thing. And the people actually own more than one restaurant in this country.
Yo, it's
normally when you go to the other restaurant, right? They happen to know me because I go there quite often.
I know
right?
what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I go and I sit down.
I go there.
And heaven help you,
Stephen. Cutlass. I have been there in the night.
Thank you. You have seen.
Hold on. Not just seen. They turn off their light. Start packing up the chairs.
Right there
on
you go.
Yo, it's a
they start packing up the chairs on you.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. And you're speaking about bungalow. I'm not afraid. I'm telling you what happened to me.
Well, you mentioned the name, I didn't, so.
And Andrew is my good friend.
But Andrew needs to do something really. I mean, Andrew, I go to Flow all the time, and Andrew owns that too. And Andrew, you know, I mean, you're sitting down at the table and you finish eating, or you want the attention of a waitress or a waiter. They all stand around in a circle looking at each other. Why would you not at least look out among your clients or see if somebody puts up their hand? Why is that so really hard to do?
But listen to this too now. One time I went to the bank and I say good morning and the girl say, look, Imani, look good to you.
Max, you're lying, Max.
Max, do you know Max? Max, are you aware that according to what I was told by very reliable sources 2 or 3, late last week when I went to a meeting at the Bank of St. Vincent, that apparently if you call the Bank of St. Vincent after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they don't answer the phones, you know. They don't answer the phones because their bank hours cut off at 2 o'clock. Why is a bank being closed at 2 o'clock anymore? What's going on here? Why are you not answering the phones? Where's the hope for this country?
Max, thank you very much, man. Make your last point, and because I want to bring another one. Make your last point.
Okay. The point I want to make, last week, Candyman called it after me and said, you guys are stewards and supposed to tell the country when standards are higher. My question to Candyman and the rest of the Unity Labour Party, name me one community center where a poor person who don't have electric in their house could go and get a resume printer for free. Name me one community center where the justice of peace
and I think
will help somebody.
I think Candyman proved he wasn't really prepared to answer questions when he called him.
He
embarrassed himself. So I'm happy for him to call him again if he wants to be embarrassed again.
And to be honest, I like Candyman because
I like him
Candyman don't sugarcoat nothing. Candyman remind me of myself.
Well, no, I wouldn't go that far. He does sugarcoat because he comes down on one side and defensive all the time. So that's sugarcoating to me when you're deflecting. That's sugarcoating. We like him though. He's a nice guy.
I stand corrected, and also, Stephen, I want to say thank you because you was trying to spin my word at them, but you stop him in the track, you're right. You was trying to spin my word. But I want to see with the community centers, a lot of people is not going to that job fair because they simply don't have what it takes to print out a resume or have a passport picture. I know people who is actually helping people. I have people I send. I've sent, and I don't want to brag. I've sent printer ink to HP printers, Exxon printers, for people to help people organize their resume to go for. Last time they had the cruise ship thing, you know. The amount of ink I sent in Vince to buy a Mary Jet, you know, other people in the car. When Max walk on in the panting of them, I charge them extra money, you know.
No.
Max, buddy, thank you, buddy. Thank you.
But Eyewitness News said they got 1,700 applicants. So
let me just say, the reason why I am presuming Kunks is not back from Africa. He went to the motherland.
He went to the motherland?
Yes, he went to the motherland.
Boy, I have a question to upset Jomo. Does somebody ask me?
So, well, hold on. I presume that he's either in transit, in flight or something, or he's still in the motherland.
Maybe he's not coming back.
Right? So that's the reason, because normally he would have been in, or he would have things. So we presume that he's not
back. Could I ask the question, please?
Yeah. About the motherland or the fatherland? Which one?
I want to talk a little. Just one question.
Let me finish one service. Right?
Go ahead.
So Friday, I'm not gonna be like you and talk about. I went into a restaurant.
Well, I'm trying to be nice here. I'm trying to be.
I am talking about.
I want it fixed. I don't want to embarrass the post. I just want him to fix it.
Listen to me. I'm talking about something that happened.
Okay, go ahead.
It's not about fixing. Okay. There's something. We have a problem with service in St. Vincent
across
and
the entire spectrum.
And until we start speaking about them and calling them out, nothing will happen.
Yep.
So I went to Ace in Kingston.
Yes.
On Friday.
Yes.
Right? Let me take the call because the phone's been ringing. Caller, good morning.
Well, I gave me 2 cents. Morning to everybody.
Well, you calling to tell me how we did embarrassing the country.
Yeah, of course. You're not supposed to say anything. Yeah. Boards are all cost us now.
Remember, he going back to the
you help more and roots. Back to the roots.
King, I hear calling me out, you know. Don't let me spread you out, you know. I have plenty secret for you, know.
Go on, buddy, go on.
Listen, there's 2 things I want to talk about. You see, one, Stephen touched on it with them restaurants and the customer service. Lord of mercy, boy. We got a long way to go. Even the stores. You see that same comment on Max talk about if the morning look good to you? I get it a few times in St. Vincent. No, serious, I ain't no joke.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like I say, the customer service in St. Vincent, we got a long way to go.
Yes.
Fact. We ain't even touched the basic yet.
But Bones, to be honest with you too, since you mentioned that, it just occurred to me. You know where this all starts?
In
it starts with your parents and in school with decency, with good morning, basic manners. All of that is missing in this country. You had an education revolution that I was still waiting for when the revolution occurred. I want somebody to tell me. Nobody's able to tell me yet. Am I not right? My parents brought me up to say good morning to people.
You can brag about 20 subjects with pure wine.
Thank you very much. But you can't get the basic, simple things right for 90% of the country.
But the guy from the CDB or wherever, he said on the radio, it's only bragging rights. But when you put them in the workforce, they know nothing.
Can't perform. Correct. Yep.
Somebody from CDB said that?
It's bragging rights.
Wow. But we know the truth. Bring all of us to live here. We see how bad it is. We know how awful it is, and nothing is being done about it, and people don't talk about it. We have a problem as a people.
What is Sanders going to do about the people that?
Well, they will get the best in train because Vincentians are good in training.
Are we
they just leave the
capable
country.
of accepting training? I mean, like.
Yeah, you know what you do, Bing? What you have to do, right, is you hire 1,000 people first of all, right? And then you end up firing the first 800, and you'll find 200 who are good there. Then you hire another 800 and you find another 200. I'm telling you, this is how it works in this country. I went through 4 senior accountants at Musty Company. 4 senior accountants before I landed on Sabrina. I know. You have good people, but they're really few and far between, buddy. They're hard to find. Yes.
Go on, listen, man. Go on.
Bing. Stephen should get good service because Stephen's a white man.
but that is also true, you know. No, that is also true.
I am red.
That is true. We may laugh about that. We may laugh about that. We have a class. We're not racist. We are classes. We're classes people.
Yeah, but Bones, you may be right about that. Except Bing and Bones. The problem is in this country, if you're a regular, you get treated worse than if you're a first-time visitor. You get treated worse as a regular customer.
But that doesn't make sense.
That's what's happening.
I'm not sure about that because I find what they do. They size you up, especially if they know you from St. Vincent.
Right.
But you ain't live there. And because the first thing they say, all right, well, you know, because he feel it in North America and he have $2, he think he go come back down here and all the thing like you be rich.
But isn't that the case though with you?
Yeah, exactly. That's the truth for you, Bones.
No, but you know,
seriously.
Really, I mean, we could
let me talk. I want to talk before we get to the 8 o'clock about my experience on Friday.
Yes.
Right? And I am not like the Cutlers are going to say a restaurant on the Villa stretch. I went into Ace in Kingston.
Right.
I went in. Stephen, you know me. When I don't have my mic, I am the shyest.
Yeah, correct. Gentle, quiet person. Yes, you are.
I am like a mouse when I don't have my microphone. Okay?
Yep.
So I went into Ace and I went in to look for a particular person, Miss Harry. So I went and I saw a lady at the entrance on the left-hand side.
This is Ace Kingston.
Ace Kingston.
Okay.
And I'm there wondering, boy, should I go and ask? What do I do? Anyway, I said, security guard, is Miss Harry in?
Yeah.
Please? He said, check with that lady over there. I went over. Miss, excuse me, good morning. I'm trying to get Miss Harry. Is she around? She's over there by court, over there by the car park. I said, but okay. And then she turned and she continued to deal with whatever she's dealing with. So I said, but excuse me, but you didn't even ask me if there is something that I can do for you. Yeah. Because Miss Harry is not there.
I know Brian George will be very upset.
So anyway, I left and I went across, and then when I'm going across, Miss Harry came, was coming.
Right.
So I said to her, I said, Cathy, what's going on? I mean, I went there and the woman said, who's this lady? So and she told me, you know. So I went into Miss Harry's office, and the lady was also in there, and I said, what's going on?
Are you treating customers like that?
What's going on? You know? But of course, first thing she denied that.
Oh, of course, so she did that. Yeah, of course.
Yes, of course.
First thing.
That's
She
the
lied.
first thing she does.
First thing to do.
That's what the first thing to do.
Yep, they do. Deny
I'm
it.
not going to make that up.
Yep.
And I said, Cathy, I am going to speak about this on the radio.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I am coming to beg.
Yeah, I'm coming to spend money.
I'm coming to spend money. You not even to say, well,
So
Miss Harry's not here.
What did Miss
Is
Harry?
there something that I can help you with because she's not here?
What did Miss Harry do
She
about
apologized
it?
and she
Naturally.
this and she that.
And the
that.
person is still
And the
working there
person-
and no
well,
problem.
there-
We'll be
there'll
doing the
be
same thing to
nothing. There'll be
somebody else
nothing.
and no
There'll be
consequences.
nothing. There'll be
Yeah.
nothing.
No
Bones over to you,
consequences,
buddy.
yeah.
There'll be nothing.
Bones, go ahead.
All right, no, I mean, you guys done some good topics. I'm interested to listen to my partner Colin tomorrow because I might have a couple of questions.
Sure. All right, cool.
All right, Bones.
We're going to go to the top when we come back. We're going to continue with some stuff. I know the Cutlers have got some other stuff that you want to deal with as well, too. So let's go to the top and come right back right here. All right, Shady, ready? To the top. It's 8 o'clock, and that's with John Decent Cameron. Let's do this and come right back on the other side.
Boom 1069 is trending.
Turn up the music, turn down the lights.
Blazing on the air at 1069 FM.
What does this button do? Lord, have mercy.
On your phone or device at tunein.com. Or on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Boom SVG 1069.
It's too much to bear. It's too much. Now start making it clear. Guns out this morning. Babylon coming again. Guns out this morning. Question, when will it end? Guns out this morning. The whole place under curfew. Guns out this morning. Check this. It was about 12 o'clock when the thunder start clap in the back of Miss Mabel yard. The lightning start flash when me hear the gun crack under me bed for me belly me crawl. Me pray for siren but all I heard was a scream from me next door neighbor a ball. No kill me one son but me still hear the gun. Me couldn't wait till morning come. Whoa. Guns out this morning. Babylon coming again. Guns out this morning. Question, when will it end? Guns out this morning. The whole place under curfew. Guns out this morning.
Fret not thyself of evildoers, care how big or small. Love your brother just the same way, cause love conquers all. Many folks are gone today, we can't find words to say, but find a corner, somewhere quiet, get down on your knees and start to pray. Pray. Don't you know that prayer answers all? So pray, pray for a better day. We should all just pray.
Say ya, alright, me say a prayer, chant a psalm, no matter what is going on. The way the time I run, get out the praises, carry the glory on. No matter the stress, consider the blessings, cause it's flowing on. Some acting greedy, only see them whenever you throw the can. Pray for the humble, pray for the meek, pray for the wolf, pray for the sheep, pray for the world, cause it's really in a mess. Now the vaccine, like everybody affect you off it.
You know what we're gonna do? Let's take a commercial break right now. When we come back, we're gonna continue our discussion on another issue that's happening, that's burning me. Cutlass, it's killing me. All right, we got independence coming, and you always every year you come with the same question: what are we proud of to be an independent?
And we're giving all you a full month's notice to be able to answer me.
What are we?
Okay, I'm going to argue during a whole month ago. Tell me what exactly. Bing, I took a ride up the road the other day. I'm coming back to because you could also talk about a road going up to the fort that they're fixing to have been doing for 2 or 3 years, Bing. We're going to ask Candyman how many graduates coming out of the institutes that he bragged about out there, right? And where they're being employed.
Hey, listen, for the rest of the programming this morning, we got Mr. Weeks at 8:30. Yeah, he's coming up at 8:30, and we've got Dr. Richards at 8:45 this morning as well. So, all right, but we're gonna come back, and I'm gonna tell you about something that's happening here to me at Boom. All right, we're gonna tell you about it when we come back, and you won't believe it. All right, stay right where you are. Let's take a quick break and come right back. Shady?
OMG in the morning.
Are you looking for that honest, competent, reliable, trustworthy, and professional service to protect and transport your cash? Look no further than Amalgamated Security Services. Our trained CIT professionals will guarantee safe and secure delivery from your business to the bank at affordable price. We offer
What you gonna do when the rain is coming down? Nothing more to do when there's no one else around. Bring it back to the middle, push, take it back to the rhythm. Keep it up for good when the sky's falling down. All you gotta do is to bring it to the ground. Get it up to your inner move, stop, start, down. Nobody can get what you're going through.
Channel 11 Thursday. Where and how it's locally made.
News flash. enables cameras to
This is locally made. My name is Jillian Crookshank. Join us on IKTV channel 112, where we premiere and air Locally Made, a program featuring locally made produce right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We'll show you how it's made and how it is done. Remember, every Thursday, 8 p.m. on IKTV channel 112.
You in color, even in darkness.
Find out more at Paladin SVG Inc. at telephone number 784.
Understand your options. Metrocin General Insurance Company. Call us today at 784-456-1821 or email us at metrocin@finsysurf.com.
Cables, find that at Corazes. We have everything for your home at Corazes. Located in Kingstown, located in Annisville. Pembroke, Diamonds and Beckwell. Shop at Corazes. Hardware, Corazes. Helpful place, Corazes. One place, Corazes. Corazes.
For relaxation, unwinding, and socializing at Hotel Alexandrina.
Paladin SVG Inc. Alarm Solution is second to none. We offer intrusion alarm systems, security radar, active infrared beams, and emergency alarm systems. Get perimeter protection for your premises. Active infrared beams protect large areas. Our radar video linkage solution sends data to PTZ cameras for active target tracking, so you can take immediate action. Intrusion alarm systems offer reliable protection and records video the moment the alarm is triggered and sends footage to users via email or the app. Intelligent alarm systems mean you can control your home from anywhere in the world. Find out more at Paladin SVG Inc. at telephone number 784-457-7241.
Finest DJ, the bar freezing cold and the kitchen always open. And hey, all the way from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, get ready for the legendary Too Cool Race. Brooklyn, this is your turn. 1133 Clapson Avenue for the biggest back in time jam ever. Woodsy's Bar, Brooklyn, New York. Get ready.
Here's our vibe. On OMG in the morning with the real Batman Big and DJ Shady.
I've been patient and I've been waiting. Call me stubborn, but I can get over it. You left and never say goodbye. Those tears I cried, no, I can get over it.
So don't you ever let me down again. Cause I'm depending on you, so you better come through this time. Please hear my cry. And if I ever let you down, my friend, it was a misunderstanding. So if I took it for granted, then I promise from today I go jump like I never jump, wave like I never wave, wine like I never wine before, just to show you I sorrow. And I need you back in my life. Look at people by the truck, emotions running high. We end up in the sky, tears running down we high. Can't you tell that we sorry?
1069. SVG's number one.
And don't forget, tomorrow morning we've got joining us in studio. Former Commissioner of Police Colin John will be in studio, and it will be interesting to hear a number of things.
His perspective.
What happened as well.
If he decides to speak to you about those matters.
I was taught in school that there are 7 ways to ask one question. That's why sometimes when I go wrong, some come back. And comes, right? 7 different ways to ask one question.
I know.
Right? I was taught that.
Well, they taught you well. At least that's one thing you learned. You didn't learn much else, but at least you learned that.
That's one thing I know how to do.
You know, to ask questions.
To ask questions. 7 different ways.
Yeah, and you're not very good at answering them.
I wasn't taught
how to avoid them.
And I was taught to be an annoyance as well too when asking questions.
And my friend, I can vouch that you had it.
I want to talk about something that's affecting this business, my business.
Yeah.
And I know that it's affecting other businesses as well.
Absolutely.
Cutlass, I want to talk about I don't know if it's the economy, but in this case, government paying
their bills.
Government
paying their bills, right.
Because what I'm going to talk about is a government agency.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Carnival came last year.
This year?
No, last year.
Oh, you're talking 2022
Let's go back.
To 2022.
Yeah, let's go back to what happened last year.
Yes.
And people wasn't being paid. Shady, you're one of them. Right?
Yes. Right.
Magical went on Facebook
and
made noise.
And suddenly they found the money.
Suddenly
they found the money.
They found the money, which meant that
6 months later or whatever.
6 months is more than 6
months. 9 months later.
Which meant that people could have gotten paid
earlier.
Okay. This year, right after Carnival, there was a prize giving ceremony.
They didn't make the same mistake twice.
Right? So mass men, got all the winners,
they got paid.
They got paid.
Yep.
However, Stephen and Shady and our listeners, service providers, like myself, I don't know about Shady. I don't know if you DJ'd for the Carnival for CDC. I don't know, right? I've not been paid. And I'm going to tell you about...
Other people not being paid, or is it just you?
No, other people.
They're not being paid.
I know
CDC.
I know of at least 3 other radio stations.
So how do you pay how do they expect people to pay their bills?
That's a point,
if the government are not paying their...
But I'll tell you about the disrespect. It's not just that, right? Right after this call. Let's take the call. Okay, all right. I'll tell you about the disrespect though, Stephen. And I said to the person at the office when I called last week, I said, listen guys, I'm gonna raise this on the radio. Okay? Y'all stop treating me like some little pipsqueak boy. Okay? I am not calling and begging for money.
Yeah. Pay me what you owe me.
I provided a service.
And I expect to be paid for it.
Right? You are not paying. Every time I call and ask for someone in management, and Ashford, sorry, I've got to call the name because it is the fact. I can't get you. Every time I call and ask for the accountant, Mr. James, I can't get him. I could never get them.
Right.
And no answers. Caller, good morning. I'm going to get back to it. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Morning. Are you able to go back on the customer service?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, please.
One thing I don't like is when you give somebody money and they give you change and they put it on the counter. I don't like that. I have had arguments with people over that, but after a while I have to give up because too many people do it. And I find out the people that do it is from the smaller companies, those owned by the immigrant community, the Indian, Asian and stuff like that. But the big companies, the Target, the Walmart, the Home Depot, they better it. They don't really put the money in the counter.
Hold on. So how you want the money to be placed in your hands? That's what you're
saying?
Yeah,
I don't put it on the counter for them to pick it up the counter. I put it in their hands. And when they give me back the change, they put it on the counter. Many times. I don't like that. But I know, but I have to get adjusted to it. I'll do it. I think sometimes a lot of thing is that people are not satisfied with the job they have. Maybe the low salary, the conditions of the that they have to work under, and so sometimes it's reflected a lot of time in the customer service that you get. What do you think?
All right.
Sorry, I had to take that. I had to take that. That was urgent.
Yes. I understand, and if this affects you, I understand you speaking about it.
But everybody should start complaining more about what we're doing here, because you're spending your money.
Yes. Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the call.
Thank you. Thank you.
You were.
Yes.
You were saying about CDC not paying you.
And listen to me. You know.
And not paying lots of people in the country,
lots
apparently.
of other people.
Other radio stations not being paid.
Stations, you know. And.
But you have to pay VINLEC, you have to pay your staff.
But that's the point.
Maybe the government entities could pay each other instead.
But that's the point.
You think CDC are paying VINLEC?
But at the point, you got to negotiate with VINLEC.
Yep.
Because you've got outstanding monies from government.
Mm-hmm.
Caller, good morning. Good morning, caller, you're live.
Hello, morning. On the topic of not getting paid, I have a friend who have a company and they don't work with the government. And the government did not pay him yet. But he getting a letter from internal revenue to pay taxes on the money that the government owe him.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, these things happen.
That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
I mentioned about what happens with VAT the other day. I feel sorry for those people who have to pay VAT and they haven't been paid their bills. How does that work? Because imagine if you don't pay your VAT and you happen to be a day late for whatever reason, you have to find 20% more. And somebody's getting paid a commission for I mean, if you pay your bill 2 days later, Bing, they could still come back to you later and give you a 20% fine. What kind of craziness is that? You know, what kind of reasonableness is that? Yeah.
How does that happen, really? I'm still trying to figure that out, really.
It happens. You have another caller coming through, Bing. So. You're a busy man today, Bing.
Caller, good morning, you're live.
Good day, brother, Big and brother. Just going to be very brief.
Yeah, good morning.
I was the
favorite person. Yes.
Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Well, we talk. We speak the truth.
We try.
And all we do is speak the truth. I am the credit control officer, Jesco, and so I'm going out to collect monies. And while I'm going out to these statutory bodies, these private business to get monies, is that the same government? Oh, how much do you have for us? We have 20 million for Jesco, but government have 5 million for you, 1 million for me, such and such. Some of them even include places like Franco and understand the gravity. And I'm only saying, and you have said it, $70 million owed to the private sector. And I'm only saying it continues and it is worse because the situation is worse. And I'm only saying here to you, this is why we got to get back. Joachim, we got to get back our agriculture. We got to get it back.
But we also have to recognize, of course, what the government is going to say owes the private sector owes them. So something needs to be done here.
The private sector has made a very significant turnaround now. Only maybe about 10% of them would ever, because ever do business. And let me say this, God bless you, Bigger Bigs, because sometimes, you know, we can't even get money. Let me tell you something, I go in as a credit control officer. Millions of dollars owed to us from government. I only get 5,000 a week. And Bigger Bigs, when I went to him, sometimes I get 20, I get 30,000. That is how the accountant could go and pay, you know, by the gas. Because we don't get paid for gas, we don't get paid for the materials they take. And I'm only saying, hey, it is time now that Mr. Gonsalves come and boom, one of the most popular stations in St. Vincent, and give us the reality of what is really happening with the economy. What is the national debt? Not 2 billion, over 5 billion. What is the budget deficit? Is it short by 200 million or short by 500? Come here and tell us, have an honest discussion with us, rather than allowing us to fight. We fight Bing, fight Cutlass, Hamilton, fight this one, that fight one. These people, this is why, in closing, I have no interest anymore in fighting them. We do all the talking, we do all the issues here, and they get it paid. I love you all very much.
All right, Hamill, thank you. Take care.
Yeah, thank you, Hamilton.
Yeah,
Shady just said that fuel prices are just reminding us.
Yeah, gas prices have gone back up again. Okay, for cars, for vehicles. Okay.
Now, the economy, Stephen, you know how the economy goes.
Yep.
Explain to our listeners how the economy
goes.
How it should go and how it is going.
Well, buddy, I am not an expert on the Vincentian economy at all, but I mean, people have to pay their bills. Again, laws have to be enforced. Tax laws need to be enforced. Everybody must pay their fair share, right? I mean, an economy is a circle. It's a very simple thing by and large, right? And the only thing that comes out of the circle, if you like, that can come from outside, usually are loans and or grants. Other than that, whatever you pay in taxes has to fund the government, and the government has to take that money and do all the service, provide the services it needs to, pay the salaries of civil servants, teachers, etc., fix the roads and whatever, and all the other things the governments are supposed to do, maintain schools and so on, out of the tax revenues that they get. As you know, there are basically three major sources of tax revenues as far as I'm aware, which is individual income taxes, corporate income taxes, and VAT. Those are the major sources of revenue, income tax revenues, I believe, to the government, right? And they have to pay those. The issue here, I think, is that government has access to overdraft facilities and credit facilities that the rest of us may not have. They have interest to borrow money, so they have to decide, they have to recognize, first of all, that when they don't make payments to the private sector, it has a huge impact, flow-through impact, including on other government-owned entities. I happen to think in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the government sector is too large. That's my view. But
bloated,
in my view,
when I can't pay Vinlec,
because CDC wouldn't pay you, or somebody else wouldn't pay you,
and as I said to one of the staff at CDC, no, that 10,000, how much money that you have for me, it's not that it's going to be enough to cover all of my expenses, but it's going to add to what is needed to help.
Yeah, it'll help.
And when I do work for you, I mean, listen to me. The point, what hurts me most is that these guys don't even have the respect to give to come on and say, okay.
Yeah, but the CDC gets their money largely from government, i.e. the National Lottery for the most part, right? So they should at least tell you, hey, the lottery is not paying us or something, right? So
Hey, let me tell you. Bing.
Yes.
You know on my invoices, at the bottom of my invoices, you know what I do to get my customers' attention? It says right there at the bottom.
Interest.
Pay up on receipt. If you don't pay, the next bill is 4% interest, and it's compounded if you don't pay. And I keep telling them, I'm not interested in the interest.
But that's not the government of Canada you're telling that to, eh? You're telling private people.
No. Private people, but the government.
People that.
But if you tell CDC that, CDC will still refuse to pay, and then what? Are you ready to go to court and fight for it? That's the issue here too, huh?
Yeah.
Bones, St. Vincent is not a
real place.
Thank you very much. No, is that the favorite phrase you all like to use? Unfortunately, when you see these and hear these kind of things, you can make that argument. Is this a real place? Boy, look at what's going on here.
But at some point, somebody got to start instituting that kind of stuff, man. I mean, people got the bills to pay. Bing, you got your staff to pay. You got your other bills, your utility bills to pay.
My Vinlec Miss Fraser, praise God for a lady called Miss Fraser at Vinlec.
Who's trying to help with you.
Who's trying to assist and help.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yep.
It is not easy. And as Mr. Weeks once came and brought to discussion here, while it is not the platform is not even, because we are competing against the station which is taxpayers run.
You're comparing by Star FM and NBC Radio.
And NBC Radio. And NBC Radio don't have to pay VAT on their electricity.
Really?
And they get subsidized. And NBC is subsidized. They get all the government. Listen, the only government agency. Keep listening. The only government agency advertising I get here is the National Lottery.
Yes.
And if I tell you how I do to get it, you will be shocked.
Who advertises on Star FM?
Everybody.
Okay. Why do you think they do that? Is Star FM one of the more popular radio stations in the country, you think?
Of course not.
So why do you think people are advertising on them?
And when you
Why do you think people are advertising on Star FM?
Stephen, if I tell you, the cost of running a radio station,
I know that's not cheap.
and you competing against these other stations, Star and NBC Radio,
but Bing, I brought up the same issue last week.
all of government advertising.
It's the same thing, Bing, that
we're doing goes to NBC
we are doing the same thing with the Prime thing. Right? Not only did you give these people money to help them, give them an advantage, you're now giving them a second advantage by giving them a $5 rent. You're giving them a third advantage by giving them a tuk-tuk to drive around in. And by the way, do we have a list of these people? If you gave government money to people, rent, why would you not tell us who the people are?
$5 rent, and the vendors in Kingston have to pay how much per day?
Thank you.
per
Well,
day.
that's what we gotta be-
$5
this
a month, but
rent.
in Kingston
Yeah.
you have to pay how much
Correct,
a day?
yes. And
Is
by
that
the way,
fair?
we announced this with pride as though, and who are these prime recipients? Is it fair?
put
Was
the
that,
list.
we know what happened.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Candyman, you're back at, well, you see you ain't had a
excellent.
walk. You see you ain't had a walk, so.
Yeah.
You see, from since the
Yes.
tape leak,
Yes.
you ain't had a walk. You ain't had
I'm
no
fired,
walk.
yeah.
You get
Sean
fired.
took care of him. Sean took care of him. Yeah.
We have to find a good intro for you.
Yeah, we need an intro for
We have to
that.
find a good intro for you. Yes.
Because he ain't balling, eh?
Of course not.
Okay.
Good morning. Let me hear. How are you going to defend that now? Tell me. Go ahead. Which one of the topics are you going to defend?
Defend what? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about right now. I was listening
Well,
earlier
I'm
on.
talking about the fact that CDC are not paying service providers.
They're not what paying?
Yes.
Boy.
But I'm sure, as one of the master of MCs, you were paid. Don't lie. We don't lie about the small things.
Candyman would have been paid.
Candyman, you would have been paid.
Yeah.
Bing, you must stop.
A big shot in the
telling
party,
lies
you know.
on radio. I tell you that.
What did you receive payment then?
I did not do any work. for
You ain't do no
this
MCing for Carnival for
None.
none at all.
Not one show. Not one.
Okay, what about ads, advertising?
Not one ad.
You
Not
didn't do
one
any.
ad.
Did you get paid?
None. I didn't do any work for CDC this carnival.
Did you get paid though for the work you did do?
For which work? I didn't do any.
Oh, you said you did an ad just now. I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
Not one. He said not one.
Oh, not one. Okay, sorry. My apologies. I'm wrong.
No.
What you bring it to the table for us?
Go ahead, Candyman. Let's hear you.
What are you going to defend for us this morning?
I was listening earlier on, and I heard Max calling, and he left a question for me to answer. So, but I was a little tied up, so I didn't get a chance to call earlier. Now, and Stephen.
Yes, sir.
First of all, Max is completely right. As a man don't sugarcoat nothing. You don't tell the man how to think. You like to tell people how to think.
I take you to sugarcoat.
That's one of the things I love about Max as well.
Okay.
And also the fact that
Can I give an example?
don't sell out. He's foreign, but he sound like a Vinci still. I like that.
He
You
puts
know
on
what
the
I mean?
accent when he calls us. The Vinci accent.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, the question that Max asked about people going to print their resume for free. I don't sugarcoat nothing, right? If there was holding a fest and it was $150 and $300 to go in, it would have rammed. You'd have a crowd of maybe 5,000-6,000 people in there.
What's your point,
People find money for what is important to them.
Register to the jobs fair. That's what we're talking about, the jobs fair.
The jobs fair?
Yeah, no.
But
he
they got
asked a
1,700
question.
people. Was not a lot of people.
No, hold on. He asked a question, right?
Uh-huh.
He said he thinks that people ain't going to sign up because they ain't have money. He said they will not.
They have money to provide.
They have money
yeah,
to print their resume,
to print
right?
Take pictures and everything, yeah.
Right. No, I am an individual. I think that one of the things we need to be, and you all were having the discussion earlier on, we need to be real with people, and
Yes.
young people especially.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We cannot bring up our young people teaching them that the world is a free place and everybody's going to hand everything to you on a platter.
But Candyman,
Candyman, the amount of people that goes to these $500
I'm telling you all this straight.
Go
If it was having a $150 fete, it is ram.
How many people, Ramis, how much in your very short mind? How many people are we talking about here?
Insulting people.
How many people are we talking about here when they say Ram?
300-400.
You don't know that. You can't figure that out.
1,000?
I have to figure that
1,700?
out. And you really have yourself a radio. No wonder people are
1,000 of 1,700? How many people? 1,700? We talking about 500 people. We talking 500 people in an event. If that much.
Which 500?
Carnival Escape had over 1,000 people, I believe.
But I was telling you.
But that's outside of the norm.
Not even that. If it's a wet fete, right? To get wet down.
Yes.
To pay a man to put a hose on you.
But Candyman, I accept your argument, okay? I accept your argument 100%.
Look,
however, Candyman.
I have to tell them invest in
Candyman.
yourself.
Do you think government should be paying
Hasn't
us?
our government policies been to promote the use of handouts?
No, assistant.
It hasn't.
No, he said
Assistant.
assistant.
Ah,
There where you were wrong there.
So my terminology is wrong. They're not handouts. Okay, I apologize to you again, Candyman. Thank you, my friend. You would make this is why you need to go to New York, because you would make an excellent ambassador and diplomat.
Yeah. Those from falling through the cracks. The net, social net.
Yes.
The social net from falling through the net. Don't forget, we got to talk to them, buddy.
All right, Candyman, take care. Thanks for the call, buddy.
We got Mr. Weeks. Come bring Mr. Weeks' drop. No, but this question of payment, CDC, Mr. James, who I never met you, don't know who you are, the accountant, return my call.
Yeah, at least tell him that you don't have the money.
Say something.
Is that Mr. Weeks calling us?
No, if that's not Mr. Weeks. Mr. Weeks only calls whenever his drop is played. So
okay.
we're not going to take that call.
We're sorry, guys. We can't take Mr. Weeks' to call.
We're not taking any more calls because we've got Mr. Weeks' segment to come now. Ashford, you don't answer your cell phone. I don't know which you are Saboto or Camilo. Who was? Ashford, you're not a politician. Answer your damn cell phone.
No, he answers my calls. Just don't want to
because
talk to
he ain't owe you.
He doesn't want to talk to you. Oh, okay. But he should just tell you straight up.
Say
Listen, I need more
something.
money from the lottery. Tell people. The same thing happened last year. It's almost like they're afraid to say.
And then they told me, after I explained and I plead and I beg, I said, guys, please, come on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Come on, Mr. James. He told me, okay, pick up the check in 2 days. That was 3 weeks ago.
Oh, jeez, you Lord. Oopsie daisy.
And then you're calling. They're not taking your calls. They're not returning your calls.
Right.
What kind of government is this?
Did you call Ricky?
What is Ricky gonna do?
I don't want to tell you that they don't have the money yet. They're waiting for the lottery to give you the money.
And so who do we call?
Lottery.
Sealy,
call Mac. And he'll tell you call the big man. Because he don't make no decisions either. By the way, where's my money for my OECS swimming team, by the way? all that talk you've been talking.
It's not time.
Where my money?
Mr. Weeks, drop
and congratulations to the netball girls off to a good start. And I believe they were, hopefully they were well supported by the government to go and compete at the OECS.
Bring Mr. Weeks, drop for me, please.
I know so
With
many
the most loved man on radio. Sir Lancelot is in the building.
All right, we got Mr. Weeks on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am good, thanks for asking. Stephen, Joachim, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Weeks. I'm staying an extra 10 minutes so I can have a good morning to you and chat with you.
Right. I don't know if you would need all 10 minutes if you stayed specifically to speak with me, because I don't have a lot of time this morning. I don't know if we would be on for 10 minutes. Shady morning. Greetings to your listeners. You guys are... I really like the stance that you guys are taking this morning. Just let's call the names. That's something I've been saying for the longest, but let's hold people accountable.
Yep.
Once it is things that you can verify, that you're not lying, you're not making up things, let's call it. Call out the institutions. Let's call out the organizations. Let's hold people accountable.
Yeah. But I think there's a balance to it. I understand exactly what you're saying. But, sometimes you just hope that people will get the message and try and do better without having to hit them with a hammer over the head.
When are they going to get the message?
Yeah. Huh? Sorry, I didn't hear you clearly.
I'm asking, when will they get the message?
That's also, unfortunately, a very, very good question. Maybe never too.
I am here speaking to Bing since I Kingdom Come, that I set my time around an arrangement I have with him.
Yep.
Not because I don't come and cuss him and thing. I speak to him quietly. But ever so often, he takes me for granted.
So you have to pull him up publicly.
And as he should. That's why we said this board, when other calls were coming in.
We said no, you gotta wait. Mr. Weeks' time is up.
Mr. Weeks' time. So I apologize again for that.
He just and it's what we do all along.
Yes.
According to Bing,
yes.
I am like him. I am not necessarily begging him to be on here.
Right.
I believe I have a contribution to make, and he asked me to make it. And we need to take things seriously.
I think we try
You don't
to.
have to wait until somebody come and cuss you and raise their voice
Yep.
and speak fast to you.
Yep. But unfortunately, that seems to be where it works in much of the country, no?
But that's how it works all over the country.
Unfortunately.
Not a real place.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
We have to do better than this, man. And you see, there are those who come and speak to us in their militant way that service is slavery
Yep.
and service is servitude.
Yep. And that's the mentality we have too much in this country, maybe.
We hear it right
Maybe
all the time.
what I don't get, right, is when I go to a restaurant to buy food, I wonder if it registers in the waitress's brain that I am the one paying her salary. I don't think that registers. I don't think, for some reason, they don't seem to make the connection between the customer and them getting a salary. That's what it seems like to me.
I am not out as often as you, but I can tell you whenever I go to one of these establishments, it's the same treatment.
Yeah.
Actually, when you started,
Yeah.
I was about to call and say, Stephen, go by this place.
Yeah.
You get. But when I even before that thought finished, I remember my last experience there.
Right. That's okay. I'd like people to call. If I was lying, I'd like people to tell me where. The only place I know, Mr. Weeks, where I go and I get good service and decent food is Basil's in Kingston. Not Basil's out of town. Not Flowing Tongue. Not Bungalow anymore. Not a lot of the other places I try to go to, but I've just basically given up. It's almost like, hey, from now I'm just going to stay home.
There's a particular hotel restaurant.
Love you. Terrible service too.
That I go and I was about to say, but Stephen, if you go there, you'll get good service, you get good food. But when I remember my last experience, they go in to have a roti and a drink, and they take you till thy kingdom come.
Yep.
To get the food.
Yep. Yep. Atrocious.
And then you sit down waiting to pay your bill.
Yep.
Because you only have a limited time.
Yep. Good luck on that one too.
And you can't. You have to actually get up and go.
Absolutely. That's what I normally have to do too. Correct. Get up and go and beg for the bill. Yep.
At least
And
you
it's
are
not
all
just
they want to pay.
to the restaurant. It's
At least all they
the
want to pay.
institution.
I wish I could get
Mr. Weeks,
tips
Bing
to
made a
pay.
ridiculous comment just now that NBC Radio doesn't pay VAT or anything else or government
No, it's
taxes.
not
Is that true?
ridiculous, Stephen. That's true. They don't pay that.
How come? They're competing with other private sector stations, are they not?
Well, I raised it. A law was taken to Parliament. I didn't hear a soul on the government side or on the opposition side making a case that the private radio stations should get similar treatment.
Do we know if how much NBC Radio has to, if it has to be, and how much money it has to be subsidized by, if at all? Or we don't
Well,
know?
the way I know, NBC gets a subvention, and that's public information. I can't
Right,
tell you
yeah.
what it is.
Okay, but it's
You
public.
can
That's
find
fine.
it.
Yeah.
If you go to the estimate, you will see, and if you go back to all the estimates, you can see how much money NBC got over the last few years.
But in addition to that, though, Mr. Weeks and Stephen, every government agency's ad, which is budgeted for, it's placed on NBC Radio. Now, I have no problem when you decide to place your ad, okay? But oh God, spread it around too now.
No,
You know, and I could almost guarantee you that they have been paid by the CDC.
Bing, you ask that we be to the point and we speak the truth. When you're going to advertise, you have to think about who you're going to speak to, that's one. And two, who you're going to speak to includes how far the people you're speaking to are from your source.
Mr. Weeks, if I may interject here, right? There are ads that I've heard, that I'm hearing on NBC Radio, that their niche market is not that. Doesn't think that.
But Bing, and you're pushing me. If you were to put that ad on Boom, would the people in Bible hear it?
Yes. How many people listening to radio now? Okay. No. They may not be hearing it. They may not be hearing it via the transmission. How do you listen to radio now, Mr. Weeks?
I listen one time at home. I listen through by the transmission.
Via transmission. Okay. Well, you one of the few.
You what?
You may be one of the few.
Big as I get, I think that most people listen via the internet these days.
I am not as much up to technology as you.
Hello?
What did you say? I'm not up to
I'm
technology.
saying there's no person in this country who uses technology more than they use different aspects of the technology that I can use. But I'm saying my life depends on technology.
Okay.
So it's not about me not using technology.
Maybe that justifies CDC not to pay us then.
Well, you're dropping the point and you're going somewhere else.
No, because I don't understand. I understand the point that you made. I agreed. I accepted it. But then we move on.
I have to link it to CDC. CDC use your service. They should pay you for it. They should have paid you for it a long time ago. Why are you going there?
But I hear you say, well, CDC is wrong. And, well, you just said it. You just said it. You know? You just said it.
I made a general point being that we should hold persons and institutions accountable. That includes the CDC, and I'm happy that you're calling them out today so that I hope somebody's hearing. And if the persons in CDC are not hearing, I hope somebody who has responsibility for them and who would have some shame and a conscience would be hearing you and understand that CDC ought to pay you, and they should get on CDC back to ensure that CDC pay you.
And not just me, other radio stations as well too. Whose service they use?
And then again, Sandals is coming here, and the first thing we start to talk about is Sandals' relationship with the staff and how they treat the staff. You think the way our workers work in the restaurant, Sandals can tolerate that? What we have here as the norm, can Sandals tolerate that? So when Sandals asks our workers to lift the standard and spend 3 months training them, you expect Sandals to just ignore the workers when they're not providing the service that they should provide? And there are other institutions here that I would like to speak about their employment policy. Institutions that have had 40 years of concession, duty-free concession. And I would like to talk about the employment policy. But it's not in the interest of certain people for me to... And I'm not talking politics here. I'm talking individuals. It's not in my interest to talk about it. But in as much as we are speaking generally now and we are holding everybody accountable, maybe one of these days I'll talk about it.
Last one?
Yes.
Can I ask you to be a little bit more specific, please? Because I'm a little bit lost in terms of what you're referring to in terms of policies. Go ahead, if you don't mind.
Is it employment policies?
I'm not sure.
That's the policy.
I'm not sure. Go ahead, Lansman.
Stephen, I know that there's a major company in this country, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who were seeking to employ a professional on their staff.
Right.
They had someone on the staff who is trained, who is experienced, and who was, in a way, offered a job.
Okay.
That person assisted in drafting the documents related to the job.
Okay.
Lo and behold, a foreigner came in and take up the job.
And why do you think that was?
Because the company prides itself in employing as many foreigners as they can.
But a company doing that, to me, makes no business sense, because it costs a lot more to employ a foreigner than a local person. So to me, you would prefer to hire local people.
But that's exactly the point, Stephen.
And we could go on beyond that too. Do you also have to get a work permit, I believe, to bring up for a foreigner to come in here to work? So I presume they have to justify that to the government too, I assume?
But these companies, they get away with that, Steve.
Okay.
I don't know that the government checked with the Labor Department to see that the skills are available before they authorize a work permit. I don't think they do that. And many years ago, and as recently as after the last election, I said to Prime Minister, this may very well be your last term, and I hope that you're going to pay some attention to governance. And he said yes. But I don't think he understood what I was talking about. Because when you give NBC...
So is that why you're no longer on the Yes Prime Minister program? Were you too straightforward? Did you ask the wrong questions?
Well, wherever I go, I'll ask questions, Stephen, and I'm like...
But do you think maybe you asked the wrong questions?
No, nobody asked me to leave, you know.
Okay.
No, nobody asked me to leave. I just...
Oh, you decided you'd had enough?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Yep. Understandable.
To be on a program on a Sunday, you know, Stephen.
I know it's a pain in the behind.
It's a sacrifice you're making.
Yep, well aware of that. Yep.
It's a sacrifice you make. Yep. I don't mind doing it.
Yep.
Because this country has invested a lot in me, Stephen. And I'm talking about, first of all, finances. Because I went to primary school for free. I went to secondary school, for the most part, on a scholarship paid for by the taxpayer of this country. I went to university up to the postgraduate level, paid for the most part, by the government of this country.
That was after the outing or before?
What was before?
No, after this university, paying for the university and all of that.
Bing, let me tell you my age. I am 1 year younger than Stephen. In a few months, I will be 60 years old.
So you have to call me sir from now on, eh? Oh, Mr. Joking. Okay, don't call me no Stephen. I'm Mr. Joking to you now also.
Mr. Cutler.
Show some respect for your elders.
I agree with you, Stephen. That's something we should do more in this country. Should have respect for each other more. But being, for your information, I went to school in 1975. I went in on a government scholarship. Secondary.
Yeah, you said that, but you said with regard to you went to the special scholarship paid for the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Bing, you come here and you behave like a primary school child. That you can ask the same stupid question.
But you see, but you make a comment, and I'm not allowed to ask a question on your comment.
Let me finish talking, Bing. You come in here, you would ask the former commissioner, the same question several ways, as though you don't understand that the commissioner is a trained lawyer. He's a trained policeman, 35 years experience. So you will ask, who is better, who should be better of asking the same question several ways? You or the former commissioner? Bing? Who should be better at figuring out when you're asking the same question? You or the former commissioner?
But I don't understand. The commissioner is not coming to interview me, and
he's coming to be interviewed by you and have a
That's the
conversation.
point. So the commissioner, even though he has been interviewed, the commissioner should know when Bing is asking the same question a different way. So Bing should not be attempting to employ that primary school.
Well, let's see how it goes first now. Before you criticize me and condemn me.
I'm not criticizing you.
No, before you condemn me. Let's see how tomorrow goes
I'm not condemning
first.
you. This may be a condemnation of the commissioner, the former commissioner, after tomorrow. Because at the end of the day tomorrow, we will understand whether he's a trained lawyer or you are the trained lawyer.
Mr. Weeks, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have to leave now.
Even I have to go shortly.
All right, good chatting with you, my friend. Take good care of yourself.
You see that matter? I may have to give you more because I don't want to leave in suspense. I think you have an idea what I'm speaking about.
Sure, no problem.
And I will tell you about it. I don't think it's something you can do anything about now, but it might be something that you need to know.
No problem. I appreciate it. Thank you, my friend.
I'll give you a call.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Stephen.
Shady Bing, you all take care, guys.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Catch you later, buddy. Yes, Mr. Weeks, continue, please.
Then we have to change what is happening here. And as one of you say, it's not something that can change overnight. But you see, when the institutions who are trying to change it, we have to support them. We have to make sure that they're not violating our laws. We have to make sure that they're not treating the employee unfairly. But when the employee does foolishness, we have to call them out as well. Or at least we have to say to them that you are wrong. Or you are wrong. You can't just label everybody as anti-worker. Because there are one or two enterprises in St. Vincent where you get very good services. And as much as we are talking about the bad, we can talk about the good too. Well, for me, I don't know about others. When I go to Gecko, I get excellent service. I can't complain about Gecko. But that's not the same for another credit union. There's a supermarket in this country, a supermarket chain. When you go there, you may not get the smile from the workers. But if you understand how workers in this industry are supposed to behave and treat their customers, you know that these workers are trained and they're doing a good job. You go to many of the stores in this country and you ask, where's the ketchup? And they tell you, go down, so go and turn around and you sit there. There's at least one institution in this country, one supermarket. When you go there, and no matter which aisle the person is in, and you ask, where's the ketchup? They will say, come with me. And they will go and tell you, these are the ketchup, and they will take up one. Is this one you're looking for? But we don't highlight those things. We don't talk about them. We just take them for granted. And I'm sorry that Stephen left before I raised this one with him, because I heard him talking about the lotto and sending a correspondence to lotto. And 6 months later, that's when he's finding out that the person is claiming that they did not receive the correspondence. Stephen ought to know better than that when you send a correspondence, when you send a message, it is the responsibility of the sender to ensure the message reaches where it is intended. So you can't wait until 6 months after to ask about a letter that you sent six months before. 2 days before, 2 days after you send the letter, you need to call and say, I sent you a letter, did you receive it? You may not be expecting an answer in terms of what is in the letter. But we have some persons in St. Vincent who are working on behalf of international organizations. The UN. And you send them an email. And 4 weeks after, you can't even get an acknowledgement of your email. And the matter that you're seeking to clarify is very urgent, because you want to make sure that the task at hand is completed within time, within the deadline, and before the project that they're working on expires. And when you call them, it is as though you're humbugging me for. And of course, somebody like me who will tell them gently that, look, you're not doing us a favor. The treatment will get worse. And then down the road, you hear $20 million that was granted to St. Vincent and the Grenadines was not spent. It goes back to the EU or it goes back to the UN because Vincent didn't spend it. That's the kind of thing we have going on in this country, you know. And we can't hold anybody accountable. I'm not really happy for the conversation you guys have been having today. And we must have more of it. And we can't give excuse to them. We can't say the service poor and then turn around and say, well, it's probably because the salary law. The salary law has to do with basic manners. Huh? What that have to do with common courtesy, basic manners. Don't find excuse for them. Let's hold them accountable. Being I have to hold myself accountable. I have something else to do. I have a right to catch and all of that.
All right, Mr. Weeks, catch you on Thursday morning, same time, same place, okay?
All the best, then.
All right. We're going to take a quick break now. No, we don't have enough time to do that. Do we? Let's take the break. We're going to stop at the top, and we're going to take the rest of it on the other side. When we come back, those who want to play, what did it say? Oh, you said? Them who are play, let's take the break and come right back, Shady. Let's do that right here on OMG in the morning. It's Monday morning, folks. Remember, tomorrow we got the former commissioner joining us in studio. Let's go. Shady with the break.
The Patriot Company Limited. With services like terrazzo construction, terrazzo restoration, terrazzo maintenance, concrete grinding, pressure washing, janitorial services, carpet cleaning, home and office cleaning.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact Live. Party.
Always wanted a motorcycle, but they've been too expensive. I pass in on my way to work, and then boom, I see courts of motorcycles outside. I'm excited. I get up one day, I go down, I spoke to this guy. I think his name was Sheena, this short, chubby little guy, you know. I purchased 2 bikes so far. It was the 150 SL and the 250 Dragon. This blue, beautiful AKT TT Dragon. This is my baby. I call her Becky. She gives me the best ride ever. My name is Storyboy Nick, and I live to ride my AKT.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Your vision is our mission at Kurtz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.kurtzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Kurtz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in-store for details.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact Live. Party from home. Subscribe, follow, send us your voice notes. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, or call us live in studio. Be where the world is going. Stay home and connect online. Boom 1069, IKTV. Join the evolution. It's all about you. Connect now.
Discover new Guinness Smooth. Perfectly balanced for a smooth, refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth.
Your vision is our mission at Kurtz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.kurtzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Kurtz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in-store for details.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Keep calm. We're online now.
What does this button do? Lord, have mercy.
On your phone or device at tunein.com or on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Boom SVG 1069. Boom. On OMG in the morning with a real Batman Big and DJ Shady.
One big bottle girl, me a wine pan baka. 2 bag of weed, some papers and grab a make we get high. Go and build your spliff bonnet and push it into the sky. We get high. We get high. We get high. Oh, so come follow me. Cause I make the girl them a pray. No boy a chat but that no worry will. Make them know so we no stall out. And the shot of them they all bout. Give me some beats a million damn senses. And you know me bunny plenty. Yeah. Me bunny plenty. One big body give me a wine from baka. 2 bag, eat some papers and grab a make we get. One build it and push it into the sky. We get yeah. Oh, so come follow me. Cause we up on the best trees. And we know say that's a blessed way. So no matter how them fight it, anywhere with them we light it. Guineas a bit of me under my senses. And the girl them they are plenty. Yeah. Them they are plenty. One big girl me a wine from baka. 2 bag of weed, some papers and grab a make we get high. One build your spliff bonnet and push it into the sky. We get high. We get high. we get high. Ain't nobody tryna leave until we die. We're not gonna live here tonight, so all I drink I must be fun and get tight till the sun.
1069.
You know, take the leap towards success with the KCCU Educate. Unlock up to $30,000 and just 7% interest on the reducing balance of your tertiary education journey. And get this, hold on. The KCCU is saying that they can give you financial support from $3,000 to $5,000. You just gotta give them a call or go and check them out. All right, KCCU. You know where they are. Make sure you go and check them out. Hey, Max Pizza and Delivery, they now reopened. Yeah, they've been closed for the month of September. For most of September, they now reopen. Max Pizza, they reopened, so your Vinci Pizza delivery service are back. Yeah, this and every Friday you can get your pizza delivered to you. Yeah, hey, what you do, you place your order from 10 o'clock this morning. You've got until Thursday. So you place your order from 10 a.m. this morning right to the Thursday, or via call or WhatsApp at 528-1854 between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. So that is whole into the night, Shady. You have no excuse, Shady. Yeah? And I'm off the yeah, okay, good. All right? Or you can call the restaurant, you know what I was going to say. Or you can call the restaurant at 458-3474 between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. All orders would be delivered by the Max representative the following Friday at the wharf for 5:30 p.m. when the Beckway Express comes in. So make sure you go and check them out. Culture Bar, good morning to the staff at Culture Bar. Hold on, hang on there. Now what am I doing now? Culture Bar, huh? Should I do? Okay, good. Yeah, Culture Bar. Now, if you're looking for that place, right, where you can get a real good meal, the ultimate relaxation. They got a pool there, I think is what you've been there. They have a pool. Yeah, man, that's the thing there. Yeah, a real good meal. If you're looking for that place, you can join them from Monday, so they open from today, right through to Saturday from 3 o'clock. Yeah, you can dine, have a great dining experience there. Discover their mouth-watering menu, vibrant ambience, and Vincentian hospitality. Give them a call at Culture Bar. Yeah, you know the number by now, 456-9788. Yeah, check them out today. And my boy Shallow, morning Shallow. I know you ain't by now. I know you got the radio on. You blasting. You better be. Yeah, right here on OMG. Boom 106.9. Yeah, check out SVG Tires. They have this special going on. Yeah, you buy at regular price and get the fourth one for free. Now, who does that but Shallow, my boy Shallow there, yeah? That's SVG Tires, yeah? You can check their store in Kingstown. You can give them a call at 457-1467. Or in Arnesville, they've got their location at Arnesville as well, too, at 456-6444. Give me that guy how you think in the man. You move things, man. I same thing. Same one? Is the same one? Yeah. It's the same, but yeah. So... That's that. You stop it now. No, there's nothing now. No, you see? Now you ain't blame me. You ain't blame me now. It's my fault. I stop it. You ain't blame me and stop it now. Now, before we bring in Amanda, right? I saw him last night. I'm like, ooh. You know that you put your hand by your face like you're shocked. I'm like, oh my God, that's how you just behave. My God. And then I see one of his relative them or somebody with the king name say, look who's talking about that. Is that the same sensational Bing who's been on the radio mentioning that? We'll get to you just now, eh? But before we get to him, let me go back because I didn't finish my talk about CDC because this is something that's got to... We will... Listen to me. You will not hear any ads. I don't care. Those of you who want to say that I'm not patriotic. You will not hear any ads for anything with regards to Independence or the Miss HVG Queen Show on this station until the carnival bill is paid. You hear me? So when you hear the ads them running, you know, well, they pay we. And Ashford, I love you. You're a countryman. You're a decent man. Ashford, it is not like you. Okay? I don't know what is going on. It is not like you, Ashford. You're a good man. Right? I have never called your cell phone, Ashford, and you answer my call. Maybe I'm calling the wrong number. I have never called the office and you return my call, Ashford Wood. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Like the pipe water up, they must change because that is not like the Ashford Wood I know. You don't return my calls. And Mr. James, I do not know you personally. I've spoken to you on the phone several times, Mr. James. You assured me before I went away, you assured me that a check will be available to me after I explain my situation and my circumstances. I'm talking about the CDC now, the Carnival Development Corporation. You assured me, and I only catch you by accident. Good morning to my darling Sue. I love you, Sue. Mr. James, I do not know who you are. I don't know you. I never met you in person. Of course, you know me, because who doesn't know me? You assured me that a check will be available to be picked up after I explained to you. I said, Mr. James, these are my problems. This is what is happening. Please, I beg you, if you can't pay all, pay half. You assured me. I went away and I came back. Nothing. No call to say anything. But then all you want to say at the end that I shouldn't be like that. I know that you're gonna call to say that I should not have done that. Every time I call Ezzy, I get him, he takes my call. And if I don't get him, he calls me back. But Ezzy don't deal with payments. Every time I call Sue, I get her. And if she's not available, she calls me back. But the people who are responsible for making payments, and I know you're under pressure. I know what it's like. When you've got invoices and you've got bills to pay, and you don't have the money to pay, I know what that is like. Listen, running a radio station in St. Vincent is the hardest thing. But at least I have the respect of taking calls or calling back to say, listen, I have a problem. This is the situation. I assure you, or I will try to, or give me until such and such. Respect of people. But when people in CDC, Mr. James in CDC and Ashford Wood don't have the respect to even return your call or take your call, how must you feel? How must you feel? When Miss Fraser from Vinley called, you think I could tell her I can't get in touch with Mr. James by CDC? Or Ashford ain't calling me back? Come on, guys. I said last year, and I get a lot of licks for it from people who participate in Carnival, people who make money from Carnival, artists, producers. They got upset with me. I said last year, maybe we should look at not doing Carnival for a couple of years and plan this thing properly. Maybe we should look at either having some kind of festival and not call it Carnival. We don't have to put out prize monies and this and this. And some people got vexed with me, but you know I don't care. I said as well too that maybe we should, instead of saying we are 10 days, have a weekend. And people got upset with me. Maybe we should say we're going to have carnival every other year because we can't sustain it. The National Lottery, apparently, who's responsible for sports and culture. And I would like to think carnival is culture. Last year they had the same thing, problem. So what happened? After the soca artists and them make noise, all they run go and pay the soca artists and them. So what you leaving people on radio to do now? We gotta make noise too. Because I show Ashford Woods and Mr. James, their salary are paid. And I show Vin Lake ain't going to call Miss Fraser, ain't going to call Ashford Wood. And I'm almost sure NBC Radio and Star FM would have been paid. I don't know. Listen to me. If I have to come here and speak about this every morning until we paid, I'll do it. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Okay? Please, guys. At least the respect of taking or returning calls and saying something. And when they say check is going to be available, after I say, if you can't do all, give me half. You said the check is going to be available in 2 days. At least call and say, listen, I said this and this and this, but something came up. I can't. Decent, that is 101 business practice. 101 business practice. Sometimes I feel some people smoking, not marijuana, but I feel some people, they put in something else in the Zuki they call it, and they're getting high off of Zuki. How they want to treat us. You think it's easy? Alright, there you go. There you go, bring it shading. StreamYard. There you go.
I want to say thanks to those who voted for Labour but now a ball.
Play it again.
I want to say thanks to those who voted for Labour but now a ball.
Nice music.
Shady morning, money.
Good
morning, big.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
I have some rain coming out by me, so I hope you're hearing me.
Yeah, we ain't loud and clear, buddy. Loud and clear.
All right,
over
nice.
to you, buddy. Over to you.
My the first two things I want to say towards respect and accountability. And I've been listening to you, you and Stephen, and then Mr. Weeks, and so forth. And in this situation that you're dealing with. And as I said, it comes down to respect, and it comes down to, accountability. The sad thing is that we have seen where too many times people do not respect people in St. Vincent. And especially in something like this. And I'm so glad that you are doing what you're doing, because I had to clap Weeks this morning. Name people. You are in a position for a reason. I cannot stop stressing how many times Vincentians will sit here and we will look at news on the television, international news, regional news. We will hear where heads of departments are called out, heads of police, heads of businesses and so forth are called out. And we will clap. But somehow when it comes home, it's a problem. There's a saying, you talk about patriotism just now, people may say you're not a patriot. But there's a saying that patriotism is the final hiding place of scoundrels. You are running a business, not a charity. And obviously, if you do some form of business for somebody, you expect us to provide a service, you expect to get paid. That's the expectation. And you may have signed or not signed an agreement, which I know in these things you'll have to sign an agreement somewhere. And I keep on telling people government money is the hardest money to get. I've seen it over the years. Hardest money to get is government money. And they always expect you to be the little boy and have to wait on them, and you must be able to tell them anything.
But Kenzie, when it's time for them to collect it, crazy, you know.
But that's the point I was getting there. Because this present government here, or our private entities here, hundreds of millions. And then we're leaning on the people and talk about they're going to put legislation in place to go after them for taxes. While you are owing them, tell me that is not a drop kick to the face. That is not a slap. Because you owe me. You owe me. But then you want to come and kill me for what I have for you. That depends on me getting what you have for me. That make any sense? And then they will come and they will pontificate and they will thump the chest and they will go to the House of Parliament and threaten.
Well, Kenson, we can't borrow money from, when I say we, I mean I cannot go and borrow money from NIS and then to pay back NIS, go back and borrow money.
Go back and borrow, and well, not even that. Stop being disingenuous with the thing. You cannot steal from NIS and then tell them turn the stealing into a loan. Because that is essentially what happened. People's monies were being taken out of their salaries, given to the government, and the government wasn't paying it into the NIS. They had to get caught. It's not that they thing and then went at a later date and paid, you know. They got caught and called out. That is when they run like stumbling blind people over one another to try and to say they turn it into a loan. That is what happened. Let us be honest about the thing. And so here you have CDC topped up by National Lottery and all the others. How much Lotto didn't come out and say they make record profits?
$100 million.
Exactly. Not even a fraction of that they owe you and they don't want to pay you. For me, it's all about power. And who can show that they have the power. That is what I see it as. You have all these other entities, airport, NBC, and all of these places that get, you know, they are circumvented from certain things. I think it was sometime last year, the airport got how much $1 million written off by Vinlec. You can't get that?
You're mad.
They brought in artists recently. Up one artist, sometimes $60,000, I'm sure they not owe you $60,000 something, but they were paid. And that was after Carnival. They were paid. So it comes down to respecting. And that is what I see it as. It comes down to respect. I heard you guys were talking about customer service and so on. It is seriously lacking in St. Vincent. But there's a but. I heard Mr. Weeks mention that basically that a person's salary or, you know, maybe how they are treated at work should not dictate their customer service. That is not true. That is not true. I'll tell you something that I know being for a fact, because I've been in a managerial position. You see, if a worker's not happy, if a worker's not satisfied, you could never get the best out of them. Never ever. And as Sun Tzu said, treat a soldier like a son, and he will go to hell and back for you. Treat him as just a regular soldier. Treat him as a nobody, and he will just only carry out duty. So if I'm supposed to move 10 pieces of paper today, and I could have do 15, but you're not treating me well, you might get me do 8. Again, in all of this, it comes down to respect and treatment of people. And I always tell workers, even when I was a member of the executive of the union, I will always tell workers, while you have your rights, you already have wrong. You also have wrongs, eh? So where there are rights, there are also wrongs. And you could be wrong. Not every time you think that you do something that you are right. There are times that if you don't follow the rules and so forth, you could go into wrong. So you have to be careful. The thing is that too many people have been brainwashed. Let me not say brainwashed. You see this generation of people growing up after me, they call what, Gen Z? They have this type of entitlement kind of something, and most of them don't take anything. And to them, everything must be handed to them. They must not work for anything. You see it on the net all the time. And so they come in and they believe that they must do the minimum and get the most. And if we don't step in, but again, I wouldn't really get into it because these are things that people are not really interested in. But these are things that are already set up for a certain outcome, for who want that outcome. Because the lazier you have the population, the more you control them. I look at the government service, and I can't remember if it was Stephen or somebody who said that the government service is oversaturated, and it's true. It's fact. But then what else do we have? On the rant last night, I spoke about agriculture that used to be, agriculture literally had people rich in St. Vincent. Even the poorest man was rich. Compare what we call a poor man now to what a poor man was in the 90s. Even the poor man was gainfully employed. We didn't have vagrants per se, we had characters. The only vagrants you might have seen, the only people you might have been able to call vagrants on the road were the mentally ill people who might be homeless. Instead, now, we have government fighting down the poor, trying to make a living. I rant on a bit. But I hope when I speak, everybody can see how I tie in all of these things. Because all of these things come right back to accountability and respect. Because here, you have you oversaturate the government service simply because you want control. That is why you're facing what you're facing, baby. Because you have persons now who they get into the service not even through merit or even the legal way, but because somebody sent them. That is why people like you and others could be feeling the pinch that you're feeling when it comes to your services. You have persons in offices right now have nothing to do. Nothing at all. But being paid a salary. And we don't have enough to diversify here. And then we have made sure to demonize agriculture so much that the young people especially, don't even want to get into agriculture because what is that? That is below their standard. But only if they knew. Only if they knew. And here you are have to be suffering being. Because the persons put into position, they don't have any respect for business. And they don't have any respect for you. They don't have any respect for contract. And so here you are having to come on the radio. And then everybody going to want to feel bad and say, you know what? Me not send no more ad now nothing by you being radio station. Wrong and strong. And we see so much of that. Because them nay government. I bet government don't tank well though. I bet they don't tank well when the time comes, they tank well the money though. But they have the local people here suffering. I keep on telling people I will never do any services for government unless they pay me up front. Yeah? Because I know how government money has to get. And so when I have people like Ashford and the rest of them not doing their due diligence, not even responding, knowing that they owe you, you shouldn't have to go and explain to them that you have a problem and so you need your money. That is not how business works. But again, respect and accountability. And nobody wants to be held accountable for their action.
But Kenson, you know that there are people who will say, well, Bing shouldn't bring that on the radio.
Why?
But they don't
Why?
know. But they don't
Why?
know. But Kenson, they don't know how long this been going on.
But Bing,
and I've threatened, I've said, I am going to do, I'm going to, and nobody took me seriously.
You shouldn't have to make no excuses for taking this. Bing, we have reached too far in this country where we now believe holding people accountable is a crime.
But I'm getting that on my WhatsApp. People, someone messaged me just now and tell me, you shouldn't, that is not something for you to bring on the radio. I'm like,
what?
What?
It's not something to bring on the radio.
Do you know the details of this situation?
Bing,
do you know? What month are we in? When Carnival was finished?
That was since in July.
All right.
But I want to bet that person who's telling you that. Either one, they don't have a business, or two, if they do, they're getting some kind of preferential treatment. And number three, them and somebody a friend. Them in support of the party that is in government.
Kenson, the only state agency that advertises on this station is the National Lottery. And like I say, I won't say how that happened.
Bing, I know how these things work. I can say you talk to.
All right, good.
I know how these things work.
But if you listen to NBC or Star FM, you would hear a difference.
And these same people have no qualms with a party-run radio station getting all of this type of money from the government. And the party that is in government, they don't see the corruption in this. Me call it corruption because that is what it is.
But I'm getting message. I tell you, somebody just messaged me telling me I shouldn't bring that on the radio.
Because these people.
I just asked the person. I said, you, Miss Fraser, ever call you?
These people support corruption. It is what they support. It is what is at the core of all of this.
Kenson boy, I tell you. Anyway.
Because here's the thing, brother. Again, I respect you for being man enough and brave enough to call people out. Let them stand now on their principles and let them stand now on the responsibilities that they have. Yeah? So at the end of the day, as I said, it comes right back to respect and it comes right back to accountability.
Thank you.
Have a good morning, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution this morning. Thank you very much. I tell you, I mean, Ashford is my friend, but I have no other choice. You know, when Ashford chooses not to return my calls, and I know he gets them. When Mr. James chooses not to return my calls, I know they get them. When they choose to not take my calls when they are in office, and I know that they're there in office, what do you think? You think it's easy? And then want to call then and say, we want you to run ads for Queen Show for Miss SVG? Good morning, caller, you're live.
Morning, Bing.
Morning.
How you doing, man?
Not good this morning.
I know your situation, and empathize with you, Bing. It should not have to reach to this. It really should not have to reach to this. And it goes to show the level of respect that people have for one another in this place. You know? You did a work, you did a job, you did what you're supposed to do.
In fact, I gave more than what I was supposed to have done. Much more.
Yeah. You deserve to be paid. And to be now treated in this way, I could only put it down to one thing. You're calling the man Big Red, so they probably just figure you're disrespecting the man and they decide to squeeze you.
Well, I mean, you heard when I was calling and properly cuss out for saying Big Red, eh?
Yeah, what I mean, you see, that's how it is, you know.
What I've observed in this place, Bing, is that once you don't toe certain lines, once you don't drink the red Kool-Aid, you are marked and targeted for destruction. I say that all the time. People vex me, they cut me, but I don't care because it's fact. It's a fact. Once you don't drink the red Kool-Aid, anything you say is deemed to be negative. Anything you say is deemed to be criticizing the government, pulling down the country. You know, they don't look at anything you have to say. You're targeted. They bring up all kind of stories, they make up all kind of lies, they say all kind of things about you. And I'm really sorry that you have to be in that position. And I'm urging, I'm joining with you in calling on the people to pay your money. You have obligations too. You have the problem is there, we're getting you off the air. Eh? And that is not fair. It is not fair at all. I really feel your pain this morning, Bing. Take it easy, brother. Don't let your pressure go up, yeah?
Thank you. Thank you. It's not... you know what shocked me is that WhatsApp message I just received while Kenzo was on. That, I shouldn't have brought that on the radio. That's a kick in my gut just now. I just got there. Caller, good morning, your life.
Hi, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm hearing your plea and your pride with citizens that once a man walk the shoot with you. But how much money is on the check now?
How much money is on the check?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a public matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's $1, but it's thousands.
Yes, but seeing that it's so not near wrong that you disclose how much money they have for you.
What you said?
Nothing is wrong if you disclose how much money that they have for you.
I choose not to do that. It's thousands.
No, but if then...
But why is that? What's the point you're trying to make, though?
No, but if you have to get sympathy into, then say how much money is that.
So for me to get paid, I have to tell you how much money CDC owe me? That's what you said? Get off the radio. CDC owe me thousands of dollars. Not 1,000, not 2,000, not 3,000, not 4,000, thousands of dollars. And what I did for the job, for the money that they paid me for, that they're paying me for, or that they owe me for, the contractual arrangement was much more. And if they're honest, Ashford Wood, Anthony Denny will tell you, and Ezzy Roberts will tell you that what I did for what they owe me for was much more. And it's something that I do every year. They will come and negotiate for $5 and I will give them $15 worth of promotion. Because that's me. I'm in the business of entertainment. I'm in the business of carnival. Never mind, when I was doing shows, I had to pay $25,000 for the use of Victoria Park before I sell one ticket to the CDC. I don't study that. I don't go back and say, well, all they used to charge me $25,000 to use Victoria Park. So when you come with your package and you say this is what you budgeted for, I should only give you that. Let me run some ads and bring Dr. Richards on time, okay? Please. Let's take a quick break and come right back. Good morning to you.
When using a conventional security camera with infrared lighting for night monitoring, people, vehicles, or other important objects can be blurry and blend into the background, making it difficult to identify details in black and white.
What you gonna do when the rain is coming down? Nothing more to do when there's no one else around. Bring it back to the middle, push, take it back to the rhythm. Keep it up for good when the sky's falling down. All you gotta do is to bring it to the ground. Get it up to your inner mood. Stop, start, down. Nobody can get what you're going through.
View in color.
Get ready to experience the ultimate destination for relaxation.
457.
Get ready to experience the ultimate destination for relaxation, unwinding, and socializing at Hotel Alexandrina's Culture Bar and Grill. Immerse yourself in our vibrant ambiance and savor the exceptional flavors of our delicious menu. Our menu is a treasure trove of flavors, offering an extensive selection of wines, liquors, cocktails, mocktails, shots, and mouth-watering dishes. Get ready for a taste of Vincentian hospitality like never before. We're open Monday to Saturdays from 3 p.m. until Hotel Alexandrina's Culture Bar and Grill, where flavors come to life.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Welcome to Lane's Hardware Plus Arnoldsville for convenient shopping and parking. Where are we? Turn off at Arnoldsville Technical College.
Paladin SVG Inc. alarm solution is second to none. We offer intrusion alarm systems, security radar, active infrared beams, and emergency alarm systems. Get perimeter protection for your premises. Active infrared beams protect large areas. Our radar video linkage solution sends data to PTZ cameras for active target tracking so you can take immediate action. Intrusion alarm systems offer reliable protection and records video the moment the alarm is triggered and sends footage to users via email or the app. Intelligent alarm systems mean you can control your home from anywhere in the world. Find out more at Paladin SVG Inc. at telephone number 784-457-7241.
733 Clapson Avenue as we get ready to go back in time. And we do this Vincy style. Music by New York's finest DJ. The bar freezing cold and the kitchen always open. And
Corazes, hardware, Corazes, one place, Corazes, the helpful place. Yo, Corazes is hardware, is the place for all of your home needs. If you want building materials, where you going? Corazes, Corazes, for paint and garden tools, where you going? Corazes, Corazes, electrical cables, find that at Corazes. We have everything for your home at Corazes. Located in Kingston, located in Annisville, Pembroke, Diamonds and Backwell. Shop at Corazes, hardware, Corazes, helpful place, Corazes, one place, Corazes, Corazes.
Of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8, and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
What you gonna do when the rain is coming down? Nothing more to do when there's no one else around. Bring it back to the middle, push, take it back to the rhythm. Keep it up for good when the sky's falling down. All you gotta do is to bring it to the ground. Hit it up to your inner man. Stop, start, down. Nobody can get what you're going through.
A new shipment of Piccadilly shoe styles at 25% discount have just arrived at Lane's department store. Tired of feet aching from shoes that look good but don't fit right? Look no further. You will love Piccadilly shoes. Why? Because Piccadilly shoes are designed to love your feet. Say goodbye to discomfort and step out in affordable comfort and style in a Piccadilly shoe. Piccadilly shoes available only at Lane's department store.
Let's check in with the doc and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on OMG.
Let's go. Good morning to you, Doc. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Ben. I'm doing great. I hope you are too. Good morning.
Yes. Shady Doc is saying good morning.
Morning, morning, Doc. Good morning, Shady. Good morning, St. Vincent the Grand News. Welcome to October, everybody. One of my favorite months of the year, if not. It's a great month. So, Ben, you know I do my October thing, right?
Yep. It's
your
birth month.
Yeah, I know. I mean, birth month and all of that, but you know, every year in October, what I do on this radio station, or when I used to be on IKTV, what I would do, right? the kind of things, value promotion, you know, value building talks that I would give. Well, I hope I do that all the time, but particularly in the month of October, I try to deal with certain things. But would you much rather that I deal with the issue of your non-payment today?
Doc, as you know, I do not tell the commentators what to speak about. You know that right now.
I know.
And I've said several times so the listeners know as well. I don't tell the commentators what issue they should speak about.
I actually I want to keep in my usual October trend, what I do every October. Not that it is real sensational stuff like this you would find, you know. You much rather talk about an accidental shooting. Well, you said that a plane crashed rather than to talk about a plane that landed, you know. So it's what it is. Education, because you guys been prodding and poking at that topic or education today. I want to share some things again about education that I hope I will register to all of the listeners. So you all listen. I try to be reasonable. You all listen to me. I try to. The things that guys been talking on the radio this morning, they all funnel, come to a confluence. Different things coming together in one stream, confluence. So the different tributaries that you guys talked about this morning, things matters related to common courtesy among Vincentians. Now that matters to me. 40, how much years after independence? That matters to me, you know. Common courtesy, where do we rank with that? I heard you guys talk about it this morning. I am not the one bringing it up, Bing. And when I say Bing, I'm not referring to you, okay? I mean, I'm just using your name, you know what I mean? Customer service, where we are now pushing tourism very hard, and services in general, the service sector, the agricultural sector. I mean, people are continually trying to fan the flame under the agricultural sector and say that that's the future of St. Vincent. Well, the manufacturing sector has gone by the way, secondary sector. And so the battle is now between whether we keep pushing towards the primary sector, Saboto Caesar, you know, pushing there, or is that a dead-end street? Or the tertiary sector, your friend from North Leeward, you know, and Carlos is, where's the future of St. Vincent? Primary, tertiary, manufacturing, nah, it ain't going. So they're pushing the tertiary sector, which if that is to be the future of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, this whole matter of customer service is a big player. So I listened to that tributary this morning as you talked about that. Then in some of the ensuing back and forth, another tributary came through, which is politeness in conversation and speech. I think you were talking about your incident there at Ace. You call the names, I will call the name, at Ace in Kingston. And what you perceive to be the lack of politeness. And then someone say, but you get that everywhere. Is that true? Customer service aside, so you're not in the store, you're at the bus stop or wherever. Is it true that we don't know how to be polite to each other in conversation? And one that came up over the weekend, Bing, I don't know if you had a chance to listen. Public speaking. By the way, I want to commend Lions Club. I have been pushing, and when I say pushing, just on radio commentary, I haven't done much behind the scenes. Although, I did talk to one or two people about, man, we had to organize national debates by communities and all of that, you know, to develop a particular skill here in St. Vincent. That's something I'd like to see. But I want to commend the Lions Club for the public speaking competition among the schools. I think that's a That's a highly applaudable thing. But while it is highly applaudable, it is also a very revealing thing. I don't know if you had a chance to listen. I didn't get to listen to speeches directly, but from all accounts, the well, let me say teacher prepared speech, or you may call it student prepared, whatever you want to call it, the prepared speech. Whether it's the teacher preparing it or the student preparing it, it is well prepared. And usually, whether it is read or it is memorized, which those students have incredible memory, they typically will do fairly okay with that. But what seems to be the big draw is the impromptu speech. And as happens every year, this year was no disappointment. Well, maybe it was a disappointment, but it wasn't a disappointment. I mean, the impromptu speech. Some of it made it onto Facebook, by the way, and many people got, whether you lived in St. Vincent and the Grenadines or you lived abroad, you got to see. And so I got to thinking, follow me, stay with me. I got to thinking, man, when I was in the education system, and I know that the person that you put to represent your school is really your best public speaker in all of the 200, 300, or 400 students in your school. That person is the best public speaker and often one of your smartest, brightest, most educated students. Whether it's grammar school, high school, St. Martin's, or wherever. And I'm watching these people who are supposed to be our best educated in secondary school being. And you give them an impromptu, let's forget the teacher prepared speech, student prepared speech, and you give them an impromptu on a topic. You listen to me, and it's the same thing with Queen Show or whatever the beauty show is coming up. It's a beauty show, not a speech show, so I understand when they fail. But golly, to speak 2 minutes, 1 minute, or whatever on just a topic, it's not really rocket science. Isn't this something that educated people are supposed to be able to do? And as we progress in education, and we're supposed to be able to, all of the things you talked about this morning is like I said, there's a confluence, many things. The common courtesy thing, that's only one stream. The customer service thing, that's only one stream. The politeness in conversation, that's only one stream. Being able to just ad-lib, talk, just make sense. If I give you a topic, make sense. It's not like some technical topic. It's just an average everyday topic. Make sense. Just talk for 2 minutes and make sense. Show people that you're educated. And I let the public decide if listening to all. Now some of them were reasonable, but listening to the impromptu speeches from the best we have in secondary school.
Doc, may I come in, please?
You may.
But I will not put all of it on the teachers alone. The parents as well too should, because I know what we have done in my family. We've always taught our children, listen, you got to be able to think on your feet. You got to be able to, you read a lot, get information, and think on your feet constantly. Anyone should be able to push a microphone in front of your face and ask you about this, and you should be able to do that. And it starts at home. But the teachers have their roles to play as well too.
I was not even putting it on the teachers. I didn't begin to put it at the doorstep of anyone. I just said these are the best. Bing, I know how they pick public speak. I mean, I was, I'm in the system. I have people who help. I have people who help prepare students for public speaking. So, these are your best.
I would hate to think so, Doc. I would hate to think
these are your best, Bing. They don't put their worst out there. They don't put average. They go through their school. They want to win, Bing. They want to win. It's a bragging right. When principals come up and they come here for graduation ceremonies and they talk about how they won and how they did in public speaking, it's a bragging point. They want to win. So they put their best to do public speaking. And these people that you hear are their best.
Doc, I think someone want to engage you on this topic. I hope it is. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
To the learned Dr. Lord, I forget his name.
You're getting too much caught up in title. Just call me. They forget the learning. This Dave, my friend.
First of all, Dr. Richards, yeah. First of all, let me commend you. It seems as though that church that you built, I mean,
I didn't build. No, I didn't. May I correct you? I did
This
not.
topic, please, this morning, okay? Please.
Yeah. Yes, I'm hearing. I heard you talk about public speaking and so on. Certainly, if you're going to put public speakers out there, you're going to look for the best. Over the years, I have covered many of that. Now I am not as active as I used to be, but I always look forward to some of our future Dr. Richards and who all, are so good with their eloquent communication skills and all of that. That's a part of Dave Roberts. But at the same time, I am disappointed. We have how much secondary schools in the country. I don't know if we get all of the schools participating, because sometimes I think there can be some undiscovered talent that would like to come forward in this sort of national independent public speaking competition. But it's something I've welcomed over the years. I have known one or two of them who have gone on to higher levels, bigger stages, so to speak, bigger platforms as the world is now. And so Dr. Richards, I could only enjoy you from a distance, but I'm monitoring you all the time. And it seems as though you're the new century man.
I have no idea what you mean. Okay, but I miss our conversation. I miss our interactions and our conversations. I miss that.
But that's how life is. And
do well. Continuing to wish you well. Do well, Dave. Do well. Thank you.
I can come back again. And people like Bing, I will prefer Bing because Bing has been a disappointment to me.
Nah, come no, man. Hey, Dave, come now. Stop it. Leave Bing alone. Bing is my friend. All right, leave Bing alone.
He has the mic before him, so he could curse me as much. I know he specializes in certain things. So if he wants to go down that road, he gets.
Dave, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave. And let me drive to my.
Doctor, people want to engage you on this issue. Are you willing to take their call?
Yeah, but again, let me state my point. These are the best in our school. These are the best in our schools. And when you hear what they have to offer when they're asked to think on their feet as an educated person, you assess the education based on what you hear. Go ahead.
Yes. Good morning, caller. Your live.
Hey, Bing.
Yes.
Morning, Doc.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good, man.
All right. Talk to me.
I love the direction of this morning. As a matter of fact, just yesterday I was having a conversation on this.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, back in our days at St. Martin's, as you said, this thing was stiff competition. We didn't take this thing as a joke. And I think back then we had this thing where, we have to prove that we're the best.
We were the best. We didn't have.
Come on.
We were the best. So what can I say?
You had something to prove. But sadly, what has happened to us in the world, and we are all on the internet daily, and we see this, is that now, instead of people teaching the children to have personal responsibility, because I'll come back to the teachers, instead of teaching the students personal responsibility, personal growth, we are now rewarding mediocrity. Nobody wants to work again for what they should get. We don't reward based again on merit. And that is why I think we see society, not just St. Vincent, but society going down this road where meritocracy has been kicked out the door. Because everybody now thinks that they are entitled to getting a reward, whether they did good or not. And this is one of the things I think we really, really need to weed out.
Kenson, two things: trophies cheap, and certificates easy to print. Take that and run with
Yeah,
it.
but that at the end of the day, and I agree with you that is part of where that comes from. But for me, there's a deeper ideology to this. Because now you have this thing where everybody, it's like everything now is about feelings. No more about facts. And that is why we see, you see how all of these things turn into this whole transgender thing, this whole set of, this LGBTQ, whatever else ideology that is going down. That is why all of these things are now coming into play. Because it's no more about what is right. It's no more about meritocracy. It's about feelings. And making sure that I don't hurt that person's feelings.
And I want to get to that in a little bit. How tolerant should you be? Which is quite a debate, and I want to be fair. When I get to the issue of tolerance, as a measure of our civility and as a measure of our growth, to what extent should we be tolerant? I want to get to that, Kenson. Thank you.
Well, let me get my piece in there when I talk about tolerance. How far are we willing to take tolerance back to the destruction of society? And
there's a balance, and I am not for being. Let me put it out there. I am not for being intolerant. I am not for being intolerant. Let me. I'm not for being intolerant. But there's a balance. There's a reasonable balance that must be struck. Yes,
there must be a balance. And so the other thing is now, it's sad that the level of skill. Let me choose my words carefully. The level of skill in teaching that we are seeing now. It's not like you guys back in the day where you actually, we are seeing now in this educational system that we have here, we are seeing teachers who just do not care about the students. All they care about is a paycheck. And the thing is,
that's a universal statement, so I would, maybe there might be some, but by and large, I don't know that you can say that. I'm sure Adriana would object. Adriana would object to you saying that, right?
But that is why I said, let me choose my words carefully. There are many teachers, and I've seen it in many schools and so forth, and I've heard it from many teachers, especially the younger ones. That is why I said, back in the days of you guys, it was more like a parent type kind of thing that you had going. And I keep on telling people, a teacher has to be more than just somebody who comes to teach you 1 and 1 equal 2. Because a child in its waking hours spend more time with the teacher than he does with the actual parent.
Kenson, my first stint as a teacher, when I say my first stint, I started and then I went away to study and then I came back. The first stint I was really rough and very, very firm. The second stint I really loved and cared for my student. Really hardly ever used any kind of harsh discipline, more care and attention. And I found that I got better results from being caring, listening and affirming my students, being kind to them and loving them. I got way better results out of my students when I put down Bluth and yeah.
Listen to me. I hope what is still on. Listen, you did not need to use, and most of you guys, especially at St. Martin, you didn't have to use any form of outlandish type of punishment or anything like that. Just
correct.
The type of people that you were and what you stood for. The principals at the time said it all. There was nothing else that was needed except we knew what the principles were, and you guys stood on them, and so we had to
Kenson, I wasn't teaching math or economics or whatever else I taught. I wasn't teaching that. I was teaching students. I was teaching students life, and I clicked, especially in my second stint after I came back. I wasn't teaching a subject. I was teaching life.
Let me say this to you. And I've said it to you privately, I'll say it to you here. You guys are the ones who laid the foundation and put the first piece of steel in our spine that we are now today. And I've said that to you privately, and I proudly say it here to you.
Well, thank you, Kenson. Thank you, Kenson. And I just want to thank you. So what's lacking and what's missing? Because we are now.
Missing,
By the way,
missing now is what you just spoke about.
by the way,
That you guys stood on.
to the statement that I asked, when you listen to the impromptu speeches from these people who are supposedly the best. I don't know if you listened any of it, by the way.
Yeah, I did. I actually
Well,
did.
these are the best in secondary school, and impromptu speeches to me are the better reflection of how educated the students are, rather than the well polished, prepared speeches. The impromptu speeches to me are the indicators. So I would check those out. And having listened to them, Kenson, what impression do you have? I mean, these people are supposed to be able to think on their feet, being the best. Out of 200 or 300, being the best.
That comes right back to training. And again, we reward mediocrity. I'm going to stick to that. Let me show you. Let me tell you. You know the days of us when we watched St. Martin. Before any of us could go to represent the school in a public speaking competition, we had our own competition in house.
Yeah, I think Pigeon. You have to give Pigeon credit for that. He was really good
exactly.
at marshalling and getting you guys ready.
For that. I agree.
Yeah.
And you had to, and listen to me. Everybody was good. Everybody was good because everybody looked at it as, boy, me have to prove myself and me want to be the one to bring it home for my school. There was pride then.
We had a whole heap of mouth champ, I mean, you never used to back down. You know what I mean? So I could call names.
No, hey, don't give me the secrets, man.
I had to put up an emoji last night on his thing when I saw him, like, whoa. You're responsible for that.
No, But okay, so I guess let me polish up the point because I know we're out of time, right?
You can listen to the rest of
the point, and others will disagree with me, but I know I have to finish up. You have been gracious, but I have to finish up. And the point I'm trying to make is what all of these things reflect about our education system, not just the public speaking, which, like I said, is one stream within the confluence. But the things like the courtesy issue, the tolerance issue, the customer service issue, all of these are reflectors, indicators of education, all right? And we have this tendency to think that the academic subjects are the main and perhaps even the sole indicators of education. And we are wrong. So let me end here. Our education revolution is premised on 10 particular goals. I have said this over and over again. But we are short-sighted, myopic. We only look at a couple of the goals. And when those two objectives are met, the top two, we like, wow, education revolution is really taking off. I say all of this because I am a proponent of the education revolution. I'm a supporter of the education revolution. It is good. But I want it to do what it says it will do. Please understand that. So I'm not here to criticize and bash and pull down. I am here to build up the education revolution, what it is intended to do. My people, what this thing is intended to do. Here are the 10 things and then I'll be done. I wrote them down somewhere, but if I can't find them, tough luck on that. But among the top things that it is intended to do, numeracy and literacy. That's one. And that's what we get all about when 20 subjects or 10 subjects or 15. That's how you measure numeracy and literacy, by and large. But it's not only about that. Science and technology, that too. But beneath that now, you have TEC-VOC, technical and vocational skills, culture and sports, well-developed interpersonal skills, environment, national heritage, civic duties, social responsibilities, wellness and fitness. All of these become the conglomerate of education. And we can't be too enamored and caught up applauding the numeracy, literacy, science and technology. Even China has talked about, and I follow China, the commoditization of education such that an overemphasis is placed on the numeracy and literacy, science and technology, and shaming the emphasis on the others. Now, I would have you note that in the 10 that I call out, being as I close, the 10 that I call out, there's one among there that you guys talked about. And by your conversation this morning, you are saying we are failing on this one. It's the fifth one I called out. That the education revolution is supposed to produce a people with well-developed interpersonal skills. May I say that again? That is written into the aims and objectives of our educational revolution, that we are supposed to develop, we're supposed to produce people with well-developed interpersonal skill. And the evidence that has been pouring in this morning is that as we interact in a multiplicity of settings with fellow Vincentians, we are not interacting with people who seem to indicate that they have very well developed interpersonal skills. So Bing, thank you for the opportunity to highlight this. And tomorrow, perhaps, if your former commissioner, our former commissioner allows the time, we'll see how we can pick up from there. But we really need to, especially when we are going service, as opposed to agriculture, service, pushing service, we have to push hard for a people with well-developed interpersonal skills. It will be of great benefit to this push to developing our service sector. And I hope that those who are in a position to hear would hear and would follow up on this. It's my commentary.
Thank you very much, Doc. Thank you for your time and your commentary this morning on your comment. I know a lot of people, the phone's still going. A lot of people want to interact with you on this topic, but unfortunately, we are out of time and we can't continue on this topic. All right, Doc, catch you tomorrow morning, same time. I hope that you may be able to at least converse with our special guest tomorrow on the issues that we'll be talking about. I don't know them as yet. I haven't sat down as yet and planned them out as yet. But tomorrow we will have as our special guest in studio, former Commissioner of Police, Mr. Colin John, another student of yours, Dr.
Yeah,
Richard.
good. He will tell you tomorrow again that I was his best teacher.
He was in.
He will tell you that. He will tell you that. He tells the world that.
All right, well, we'll see. We'll see. All right, Doc, thank you.
Have a good day, everybody. Have a good day.
Listen, guys, tomorrow, someone just asked me on my WhatsApp, what can we expect tomorrow? Well, you can expect from me questioning Commissioner John. Now, Commissioner John and I have not discussed, about the interview. What am I going to ask for the interview? But you can expect me to ask, first of all, how does he think his tenure was if he were to rate it as commissioner? You can expect me to ask him what he considered to be some of his major successes and downfalls. You can expect me to ask him about this thing about retirement, demitting of office, and all of that. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Ask him straight up. You can expect me to ask him about when did he decide this? If it was he decided that he was going to retire, whether he had enough of it. What happened? You could expect me to ask him that, of course, tomorrow, and have an honest and straightforward conversation with the commissioner. A lot of people, they want to know certain things, and I'm going to try to be that voice to ask the commissioner to get answers to those certain things. And to those, if I do decide to open up the line, I expect you to be respectful to the former commissioner, of course, as I ask you to do all the time to our guests. All right. If I do decide to open up the lines for you to speak with the former commissioner, and also any advice that he's got for the present commissioner. Present commissioner started off with a bang. No pun intended. His first or second day on the job, a murder of Uncle Mac. So we can expect. I'll ask him about things like that. Any advice? What is he going to be doing next? Is he going to be in an advisory capacity? What are his plans moving forward? Someone told me, and you'll be surprised, when I was walking towards my vehicle last Friday, a guy who I don't want to say is a vagrant, but someone who you would look at and say, oh, he would not come to you with that kind of comment or conversation, said to me, Bing, I hear you going to have the commissioner on, but commissioner have a big job coming up. You're going to be magistrate or judge up so. Well, I'm going to ask the commissioner that. Is it true? Is there any truth in that? And of course, maybe he may say, you don't want to talk about that, or yes or no, and I will try to interrogate him. Is it true? Is there any truth to that? That you're moving on to a bigger job, to a bigger position in the government? Is there any truth to it that you and the Prime Minister had any falling out? I'm going to ask him all these questions. Is there any truth to all of that? I'm going to ask him all that. So be prepared for a good interview tomorrow. There are some persons who think that the commissioner would have already said everything and that you don't have anything. But there are more persons, quite a lot of persons who are looking forward to the interview with the commissioner tomorrow. I've been inundated with questions and this and that about the interview tomorrow. You're going to be my final caller because Jill is not in. Good morning, caller. You're our absolute final caller.
Yeah, good morning, Bing. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay. But if the commissioner going to come on and not going to be interactive, we need him to be more involved. The former commissioner, actually.
Yes.
If you're going to come on and not going to answer questions, you're not at liberty to say this and that. You know what I mean? It doesn't make no sense, eh?
Well, I don't think. Let me say, I don't think. I don't think that that will be his role, because before he would have been saying that if there's investigations going on, he's no longer. He will not be coming on in that capacity to say I'm not at liberty to comment on this investigation.
We want to hear Colin John,
Yes.
Commissioner for police. I hope you listening to when you come on. Just script yourself, man. Tell me enough. We have people that script yourself. Say reality on your mind. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome, boss. You're welcome. And true. He will not be coming on in that capacity as commissioner. So I'm not gonna expect to hear him say, "Well, I'm not at liberty to discuss that," or and all that. And it's my body too. So I'll push him, and he will understand. Even though I push him tomorrow, he won't get upset with me. Because a lot of people are looking forward to it. Thank you very much. You guys enjoy your day, guys. Be safe today, all right? Have yourself a great one. Until tomorrow morning. Shady, say bye-bye. I said it in a big man voice. Like, don't say it in your boat voice. Say it in a big man voice. Come on, say it. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.
You didn't sound like boat fans today. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day. Until tomorrow, folks, we go and catch you. We love you.